I did watch the first round and a half, I think, of this whole thing. So far, you guys are doing very good with callouts. You could have slightly better utility with the Twitch. Oh, you can barely see that with the Twitch. If that's his most comfortable operator, then yeah, by any means, continue it. She has good utility, you know, but you can still have better utility with her, like a Maverick you had 6 picked on off of. It can still be good with that. Keeping that in mind. Good that you're running double hard reacher when you have it available and a Thatcher, because I saw that Kaid was unbanned. So it's very, very good and smart for you guys to run that. I don't see any problems with your composition, Jackal, clearing roamers, and you guys are making callouts and stuff like that. So let's run through this. This first round, I'm just going to be mainly just watching through it. There's not a whole lot this first round to talk about, except for probably how you guys push.
Open area is clear.
That's a question mark.
And I'm going to assume that the person talking right now is the IGL, which is the Jackal, I want to say. It's either the Jackal or the Thermite. I haven't identified who's who yet.
It is clear. It is clear. It is clear. It is clear.
Yeah, open's clear, kitchen is clear as well.
You're droning it too? I'm gonna go back and drone tellers again.
I'm gonna heal with drone on blue.
They have a castle on.
The drone on blue. Here. Can I go back? I cannot. This is gonna be so difficult.
It's clear.
That's a question mark.
It is clear. It is clear. It is clear. It is clear.
Yeah, open's clear, kitchen is clear as well.
You're droning it too?
For this drone, what I would have done is, you know, blue is cleared now. Like, you have that all cleared out. Put it at the actual metal detector, because then you can clear out if someone's flanking from kitchen or if someone's flanking from archives. You'll be able to hear the sound cue if it's from archives, more than likely, than actually seeing them. But you have that information there. And because it's right next to the door, you have better sound cues for when they're right above you in Square Stairs Skylight as well. That can make or break whether you know exactly where they are or not. If you know they're on stairs versus if they're all the way up the stairs. Keeping that in mind, having a little bit better drone placements, because if they come up through blue stairs, they're going to destroy it. Granted, if they come through kitchen, they're going to destroy it as well. But if you have someone watching these flank drones, then you don't have to worry about that.
I'm gonna heal with drone on blue.
They have a castle on janitor, like 90% of people do. Oh shit.
Office is clear. Office hallway, I mean.
Clear, do we know stock clear?
I'm droning.
Tellers is still clear.
Bomb has been located.
We should have
I got one of the bandits already.
Slug is clear. There might be a call sign. I don't know. Do we clear?
No, there is no.
It sounds like he destroyed the Twitch, kind of wasted her Twitch drone by destroying the bandit on this side, which she should not have done, because you have a Thatcher. And all the bandits are placed down. What you should have made the call was that bandit placed all his batteries down. All batteries are down. So Thatcher just needs to throw 2 MPs and they're destroyed. Assuming that they don't have a Kaid, verifying that they do not have a Kaid so they can't Kaid trick you. Which is why you should just throw down 2 and then save the other one for the other breach if you don't have a confirmation yet on there. But the call for the Twitch, that was a bad call to just destroy one of the bandit charges. She should have saved it, because Maestro is unbanned from what I saw, and I think he's played this round. I know for sure he's played in the next round because he killed all of you, the last 2 people, but she should save her Twitch run for those things. And Jaeger ADSs and all that other good stuff. But bandit batteries, Thatcher can deal with that. You don't have to worry about that as Twitch. Not in this situation. So a little bit better calls on your Twitch player as well.
Alright, Thatcher, just stay on the door. I'm gonna go for the
and then she just pushes up like that.
Jaeger.
Go for this side if you want. They're gonna impact check.
And you made the call that they're gonna impact check it, which is smart. But what I don't like is you immediately put it up here. Like, if you know they're going to impact check it, these are going to be destroyed. And this hole is going to be useless. You already know it's going to be useless because this is destroyed right here. So you should not have wasted your second utility on getting this right here, because it's going to be a useless hole. You might be able to squeeze in, like, through this hole here. But if they have someone, if they're playing as a team and they're cognizant of this and they have a shotgun on the board, they're just going to shotgun up above this right away. Like a Kaid with this TCSG, he can shotgun this from across the room. open this up, and then someone can impact it. Now half of these are gone, and you only have what is this? It'd be a hole like this then. If I can, please don't erase this whole thing. Okay, good. Then you're gonna have a hole like this, which is kind of what you ended up with. It ended up, I think it was like, here, we can just play it out and watch it, but it was like a really wonky shape. And that's because you pretty much wasted your second piece of utility on this. Yeah, you get this like really wonky shape with it. So better call on your part to accurately put everything down correctly. It was good that you activated yours first, though. You activated yours first, which made them think that they're breaching this wall, and that gave Thermite his opportunity to open the far wall, because they were focusing on your utility. They didn't know that Thermite was on the board, I don't think. I don't know if I heard Thermite's weapon at all, so they could have literally no idea that he's on the board. Excuse me. So it was partly good on your part, but you should have just kept the one at the bottom, open that up, get them out of the way, be able to kill anyone that's right there, and then start using it on the upper levels, or making that other hole bigger and better to walk through. And one thing that I'm seeing too already is that you're very one-dimensional. Everyone's pushing from this side of the map. No one's pushing CEO windows, putting pressure on the windows, because if you put pressure on the windows, then you can stop the impact tricking. You could have destroyed a majority of the bandit batteries, all but one if he places the bandit battery like right next to the window on the far side, on the far north side. And then you also have Twitch and Jackal watching this, which isn't a bad thing by any means. The bad thing is you watching it now. There's no reason for you to really watch this, because if Twitch dies to the angle over here, then Jackal can out peek it and refrag it hopefully. And if he dies, she can now peek and refrag off of him. But you holding this right here is kind of worthless. And moreover, on the fact that there's a castle barricade right there, and he could just impact it and open it up, and you're dead now. Two of you are dead.
I have a drone on bottom.
Especially if they have the information that you
Elevator
don't know
hatch someone,
about.
I think he dropped value.
Close on the wall. On the wall.
Yeah. He's lit up. Thank you.
It was a good call that he was on the wall. He's being, I don't want to say super ballsy, but I mean, he's relatively safe droning right there. The wall is open, but he's relatively safe there. But yeah, it's also a pulse that he's droning right by, so he could see that he's on his drone. He's all alone. Oh, I can go and kill him now. Even if I kill him and I get refragged off of you, which he could probably see on his drone or on his cardiac sensor, I'll still get one kill. I could trade this off and hopefully get this better in the advantage of my team. If I don't get traded off and I stay alive for a little bit longer, then I'll be good. But he didn't peek it, which is good on his part. But then you prone peek it to try and get him, which is good. I think someone in the comments said that laying down like this and almost dying to the C4 was bad on your part. But that's not really, you can't really predict that. Like, he shouldn't have been using his C4. If anything, he should be below, and you guys should have had to roam clear him, but he wasn't. So not much that you could have done there if he died to that C4. It would have just
Still
sucked,
behind
basically.
the desk, and then there's one far.
You located.
Good job flashing it out to clear it. But then one thing that I don't like about that is you use your utility, but then you didn't follow up on it at all. Like, you know that there's someone, like, because this is still part of the room right here. You know there's someone like hugging the wall over on this side. So you know that flashing him will help. The guy in the far corner will help, but will it get the kill? Maybe not. That's the job of the Thermite to try and do that, which I think it's a bandit that's sitting over there. So tell Thermite that you're flashing it so that you can instantly get value off of that flash grenade instead of just flashing it just to flash it. You got the ping, you flashed it, okay, whatever. Now what are you doing? And now we finally open up another angle, and they get the last 2 kills because they're focusing on everything that you're doing. You had like 3 people on that side pushing it. One thing that you could have done is you could have had someone all the way over on garage balcony or parking garage, just looking into sight, killing people. Whoever has the most steady aim, whether that be the Thatcher, the Thermite, or you, or more than likely the Jackal. If you verify that there is no one roaming and you don't have to roam clear, have Jackal go over there. The C70 is very easy to control at long distances, and it has a high enough fire rate and damage to actually be able to gun people down at that distance. So putting him over on parking garage may not be a bad idea. And if there is roam clearing that needs to be done, he can very easily go down in garage to get to you, or he can rappel up to go over and get to you. Whichever way is easier for you guys, however you want to figure that out, that is up to you. But keeping in mind that having this very one-dimensional push can be very, very hard to do, simply because the second that they realize that you're doing this, they can dedicate all of their resources into the side that you're pushing, and now you have to fight against that. Biggest example is G2 versus Empire. If this is Consulate, this is Admin on this side, Empire always takes Admin. Always. Doesn't matter where the site is, they're taking Admin. So what did G2 do? They poured like three operators worth of gadgets into Admin to try and stop them from taking it. Because if they can stop them from getting in, it makes them uncomfortable to play it. So if they make them uncomfortable to play it, they have a better chance of winning. So they tried to do that. It worked to a degree. I'm not going to say it didn't work, but they made Empire waste a lot of utility to flush people out of here and to get rid of the gadgets that are in here. So keeping that in mind, that if you do a one-dimensional push every single time, they can read into it and they can make you waste a lot of utility. You have 0 kills and 1 death right now, but you helped your team. You opened up your Hibana hole, you use your utility almost entirely. Flash grenades I don't really consider as much utility to use. Your drone work could have been better. A lot of times was people just sitting down and holding angles. Only really the Thermite and maybe the Thatcher were droning, which is good. If it was just the Thermite, then that's not the greatest. You should have maybe one other person on drone. That could have been you. You're sitting there doing nothing. So, but you have your very dedicated entry fraggers, which is they're doing their job and you're doing your job. So everything is good.
I think
Oh,
you're
the
down.
cabinet, the brown cabinet. I wallbanged him. Oh my god.
The bandit, yeah.
GG.
I wallbanged him too, but I didn't know he was
Destroying.
down.
We are destroying on this attack right now.
Yeah, it was godly. Okay.
And
I'm gonna use
then
the 6 pick this time.
here.
Just to
Go for it.
Again, you guys are doing the one-dimensional push where everyone's spawning in one location. It's not, I'm not going to say it's a bad thing, again, simply because you can spawn everyone in the same direction and same spawn and do different things. Like you can easily rappel up here and then rappel onto windows over here. It's just a safer spawn if you want. It just depends on how you guys want to play it and everything. But this round, I know you guys all have the very one-dimensional push. And, excuse me. What do you know? They started putting Valkyrie started dedicating Valkyrie cams over here. They started to heavy push stocks because they knew that you wanted to take stocks. So if they stop you from doing that, then they have a better chance of winning. And what did they do? Exactly that. But I cheated and
because
had
if they would have gone downstairs, I would have been stuck with Twitch.
inline view and
Not
saw
a
them
bad thing,
beforehand.
but-
I know the future.
Now they're-
Oh, Maestro bet. That's getting destroyed.
They
guys
might
want me to
try
pick,
tellers, honestly.
I could go what's their name, IQ.
I will say
No, take this.
it was good. I don't know if they had a Maestro before this. I didn't hear all their weapon sounds, and I didn't see them all on drones because you weren't droning. But if your Twitch is picking Twitch because they're bringing a Maestro, that's good on her. Good. You have a Thatcher, so he can substitute as a Maverick, so you don't really need a Maverick, so Twitch is his. So good call on his part. Hopefully that's what he'd be targeting
We
as
don't
Twitch.
need, IQ is actually this map. Unless there's Echo, there's really not a good reason to run IQ.
I mean Valkyrie.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that one bit. Unless there's an Echo, there's no reason to play IQ. If Echo is banned, there's still Valkyrie, Jaeger, Capcan, Pulse, Valkyrie. I already said Valkyrie. Maestro, you can locate the turrets. Legion, Ella. I'm trying to think of anyone else. Any C4, you can tell when they rip the C4 and then they start throwing it. You can tell where people are on their cameras. You've always been able to do that, but I think it's gone on and off with that. If you have a Dokkaebi, you can call them and find out positions very, very easily. There's many, many reasons to bring IQ. Just because Echo is banned does not mean that you should not bring IQ. Never think that that is a bad thing
In
to
my
do.
opinion. Yeah, but you could.
It depends.
Like, say they ban first and they ban Mira, you could easily just ban one of them open. I'm an idiot. I was like, hold on.
They're upstairs again.
Yeah, Mira would have to be on the board for you to ban those.
I've got my drone downstairs in tellers.
There's a Valkyrie
I've
cam
got
on
mine
the
out.
square, like on a plant square.
Not
It was
pretty
good
sure
on
that's
you to
Yeah, they are there.
call out that Valkyrie was trying to
Why are we
do
sick of
that.
it? Like her heads. I swear we sick of it.
And she obviously didn't
Alright.
think that she saw you,
Yeah, I don't
so
know
she's
what
just gonna
Rex
keep
said,
her
like,
camera
I don't think
there.
you can even hear me right now.
She's just gonna keep her trying to
I
put
can
that
hear you.
camera there. So
Okay.
good on you to call that out.
On my drone.
But
Now, are you guys
I
hearing?
think it failed to go
Yeah,
through
but you
with them with this conversation that's happening. So verify you as the person that saw it, you that made the call out, verify that your team recognized that call out and destroy that camera after the round starts. Just looking for it right afterwards, making sure someone
haven't
destroyed it.
heard like their
If not,
callouts.
and you're droning them in,
So-
casually say just, hey,
Anyway.
on the plant, shoot it. Plants and square
I
stairs,
don't know. I
shoot
guess
it.
sometimes it comes through and sometimes it doesn't.
If I would spawn,
I
if you
don't
spawn
like
on that side, you're more than able to shoot because
The
nobody
amount
spawns
of
near you.
times that I've
Like, where I
died
Tellers
spawn.
is
because
clear.
someone shot the cam there.
I go prone every time now.
Quiet.
I don't blame the person going prone every
I'm
time.
going up and trying to go.
Tellers is clear. Archives is
I
clear.
also,
It's good.
I know that you have a muzzle brake on this gun. I recommend a compensator, someone with a lot of time on Hibana. I have no idea how much time you have on her, but compensator, if for me, works a lot better. Simply because of the high rate of horizontal recoil. I can manage the first few shots recoil. So horizontal recoil might help with better aim practice, but I haven't really seen you aiming
They
that
have
much.
no castle this time.
Haven't really shot too much, so
Just wait. One
let's see how much I can eat my words for
Bottom
that.
floor. He's on blue right now.
It's been, it's been.
Blue door right.
God damn it! I freaking ran my.
There's one stock, Jaeger. Jaeger's hallway, Jaeger's hallway. He's pushing up T value. In janitor.
Guys, we got one person below. We need to worry about that.
You good on the person? Sounds like you're at. I'm good. I'm just gonna refer to them as the IGL. Whoever's
They
talking.
opened up that side.
You make the
That's
call for
Valkyrie.
that.
She's on ping. Right by stock. Still there, still.
Okay, got a nice shot.
That-
One in,
wait,
two
Ben?
janitors, two janitors.
He's pushing up T value. In janitor.
Guys, we got one person below. We need to worry about that.
Alright.
There's
Just
another-
had one person below. We need to worry. Well, we need to decide who's down below too. Because if it's a post down below, might have to worry about that. Bandit down below, still have to worry about it because he still has a C4 and you have a Valkyrie and a Maestro on the board, so you can very easily deny a plan. If it's a Jaeger down below, do you have to worry about it? Yes. Do you have to worry about it as much? No. Should you still do something about it? Yes. Either that or be more cautious on your flanks and have flank drones.
Jackal.
They opened up that
But
side.
if it's not a Valkyrie or the Bandit or a Pole, someone with C4, then you don't necessarily have to worry about it immediately. It's not something that needs to be immediate attention to it, because they can't really do much about denying the plan. You can just stand up on furniture and you can't be killed now. Problem solved. Same thing with Pulse and all the other C4 operators, but more so with that. You can still, Valkyrie could shoot out the floor with her deagle, since destructibility is a lot more easily done now. She can shoot out the floor with her deagle and then throw the C4 up to kill you. That's very, very high level thinking on her part to do that, but you can still do it. It's a very simple way to kill someone that's on top of furniture with a C4 as Valkyrie, or even a Pulse. He could just, if he has a shotgun and he thinks you're going to do that, if he doesn't want to budge and you guys leave him alone, you say, okay, we're just going to plant on top of furniture, he can still shotgun the floor and throw a C4 up. Considering that and everything, but
That's Valkyrie. She's on ping. Right by stock. Still there, still.
and then we kind of, I don't know how I agree with what you did there. I would I mean, we took useless damage there almost. You should have kept on pre-firing that. If we go back here,
That's Valkyrie. She's on ping. Right by
because
stock.
we kind of just shot and then said screw it, yeah. And then we were still in line of sight of her, so we should pre-fire the entire door. Here, actually, back it up. 15, yeah. Gosh dang it, you're too fast. Back
That's
to here.
Valkyrie. She's on ping. Right by stock.
I am just. Alright, so right after you stopped shooting, she crossed over and the second that she crossed over, she was able to shoot you. She had line of sight of you. So you should have pre-fired the actual door, not so much where you think she might be. Yeah, you might get a kill by doing that, but you're more than likely to keep yourself safe if you pre-fire the door. And that's the idea. You are Hibana. You're supposed to keep yourself safe. You're off the board. You have more limited hard breach with the thermite. So, and if they decide to impact trick, you can't stop them now. So keeping in mind where you're pre-firing, pre-fire the door to keep yourself safe, especially as this. You're not an entry fragger at this point. You're just trying to keep yourself alive.
Still there, still.
And you could have easily died there.
Wait,
Good job
Janitor,
flashing
janitor,
it.
two janitor, two janitor, two janitor.
He pushed me.
And then we
Bandit stock. Dude.
That was a questionable call on your part to continue peeking that with zero information. I would have gone prone, or at that point I would have repelled up and gone somewhere else. I think you lost someone right before you died.
Wait,
Two
Ben?
janitors, two
Very
janitors, two
lost.
janitors, two
Very
janitors, two
lost.
janitors.
Yep, you lost one. Yeah, you lost someone at that point. So for me, if I'm Hibana, I would have been playing passively already, so I wouldn't have peeked this again. So I would have thrown my other drone in here to see where they are, or I would have just repelled up and gotten the fuck out of there, because there's no reason for me to stay there anymore. People are now dying. Shit is going down, so I'm getting out of there. You also had your drone. I was gonna comment on this earlier. Your drone is like down over here. When you broke this window here, you threw your other drone in. Use your drone that's right next to you, that's already in the area. That way you have your one drone on you, so you don't have to waste time pulling it from wherever you decide to bring it, wherever you're going next. More thinking about where you are and where your drones are, being cognizant of that is a good idea.
Bandit stock.
But now we just lost one of our hard breachers. So now we can't really breach if they have impacts.
Dude. He's in stock, Spartan, to your left.
You ran it.
Run out.
Yeah.
That's your EMP.
Good thing that you called it out that he was still in there and you killed him for it. Could have been quicker on your part, because I think it took you like a few seconds for that.
Janitor, two janitor, two janitor.
He pushed me.
Bandit stock. Dude.
You did call it out. You did call it out, stock.
He's in stock, Spartan, to your left.
You ran it.
Run out.
And you got
That's
that
your
kill, which is good.
Was that Legion or Bandit?
That was Bandit.
That's Bandit.
Okay, Legion, fucking
I don't really like what that Twitch did. Tell her to stop peeking like that. If she's got her other drones, use them. If someone else has drones, use it. You now have pretty much hallway control. Like this entire hallway you have under your control. She can walk the fuck outside and just start droning, or someone else can walk outside, the Thatcher or the Thermite can just walk outside and drone, figure out where they are instead of dry peeking like that. That's very dangerous at this point in the game, because if they get a frag on her, it'd be very hard for them to refrag, because even though that you call out that they're in janitor, that can be very hard to contest that, just because of all the shelving and the paper and everything in there. It'd be very hard to contest it and to get the refrag off of it. So keeping that in mind, as a team, knowing when you can and cannot drone, it is very safe right now for you guys to just walk outside, or for one person to walk outside and just drone the other two in and find them, and then you know where they are. Now you can push. Instead of doing what Twitch is doing right now, which is just walking in with no information and dying because of it.
Okay, yeah, long desk.
Like, Irish on holding desk.
You guys can still win it. You guys can still win this.
We're being
It's
spotted.
good.
You have located a bomb.
Rotate.
Legion's full HP though, so I still don't know who the last.
Oh, I almost sneezed there. Okay.
That's Bandit.
Oh, it's Maestro. It should be Maestro.
That's Maestro.
It should be Maestro.
No, stop.
Last one.
Alright.
Oh yeah, no, I think.
Oh, wow.
He rotated back.
Let me
Okay,
see
yeah,
if I
long
can.
desk.
Like, Irish on holding desk.
You guys can still win it. You guys can still win this.
We're being
It's
spotted.
good.
You have located a bomb.
Rotate.
Legion's full HP though, so I still don't know who the last one is.
That's Bandit.
Oh, it's Maestro. It should be Maestro.
That's Maestro.
I think you guys saw Maestro turret. I didn't see
It
it.
should be Maestro.
No, stop.
Last one.
But if you guys are basing it solely off of 6-pick, then I don't know about that, because the ones that you have right now, I'm pretty sure we're in it. Maybe the Bandit wasn't. I can't remember entirely.
Oh yeah, no, I think Bandit's
I
up
hope
already.
they use 6-pick in this instance, because this is the make or break point where it actually could matter, because you guys didn't keep track of it. If you didn't.
Yeah, up there, bro.
Yeah, nice. No, he got
And there's that camera that I was talking about where you should verify that it is destroyed before you go in. So yeah, keeping better tabs on that, calling it out, making sure your teammates understand it, and verifying that. And he gets a very lucky kill there.
Spartan, okay, buddy.
Oh, yeah,
Nice balls.
behind the couch, behind the couch, behind the couch.
Oh, what?
Good try.
And it seems like you guys knew
Good try. Spartan,
who
good
it
kill.
was, but you didn't know where he was. Like, I think it was the Thatcher who was droning in. He droned in. You found Legion, which is right where, coincidentally, where Maestro is sitting right now. So you knew where Legion was, but you had no idea where Maestro was. So you could have kept droning. No idea if Thermite still had his drones or not. You also have to keep in mind that at this level of play, you're doing scrims and you're you're doing actual competitive play. The defending team might actually be counting your drones. Consider that, and if you guys don't do that, I'll be able to see that on defense if you guys actually do that. But if you guys don't do that, start doing that. The second you destroy a drone, count off. 9 drones left, 8 drones left, 7 drones left. I got 2, 5 drones left. Count it off, because that can make or break the difference between a round. Because if you know that they only have 1 drone and there's 1 person left, the odds of it being that 1 person's drone is, I don't want to say slim to none, but it's very, very rare for it to be that, especially if it's the support player that's left, like a Thermite, because he's already going to be droning. He's already used his drones. If it's like an entry fragger like Ash or Twitch that's left, they probably still have their drone because they haven't used it. They've been droned in by their teammates. So using your drones to the fullest potential is one thing that I could see here that you guys kind of failed on.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Yeah, then I don't know, your IGL telling him don't reload while you're peeking. Very solid advice. Also the Thermite, he was ready for the refrag. He was ready for it, but he didn't get it. He should have pre-fired where he was looking at. If I go back here,
Spartan, okay, buddy.
yeah, he was
Nice
reloading.
balls.
Behind the couch, behind the couch, behind the couch.
And he should have been pre-firing it. If you say, like, at that point, he should have had he already had the information, so he should have just started pre-firing it immediately. And it seems like the Jackal is your IGL, or the one that I'm on the
That's right,
IGL.
that's right. Spartan, good kill.
Behind the couch, turn around.
Sorry.
I'm Bolo.
Spartan, don't reload when you're peeking.
Yeah.
Please don't do
I just
that.
see your gun straight up. I flipped over to Cass when you died, and I was like,
Alright, so this is the point that I have not seen anything. So let's see what you do.
I was like, wait, how'd he die? And then now I got to see it.
I wish I knew where he was before I fucking peeked. I hate my life.
No, I mean, Legion was behind the
They
couch.
might go tellers now.
Sledge? Oh,
Let's
okay.
see. If they bring Kai, they're downstairs.
I could 6-pick to Sledge if you want.
Get the sledge.
Alright, well,
Yeah, okay, I'll switch
what
to
are you guys 6-picking to?
No, I got it.
Okay.
God, let them
What,
pick
do we want
too,
Sledge or
my
Buck?
God.
I'm good with Sledge and Buck.
I don't know about that. I'm assuming that you guys slapped their butts in downstairs twice in a row, so you don't think that they're gonna go down there. Which I would somewhat agree with that, with their lineup that they have. They only have 1 C4 on the board and that 1 plant denial operator. If you could count Legion as another plant denial, but not in this instance, I wouldn't say. You already have your Zofia and your Ash for soft destruction. Both of them have 2 distance breachers, and they also have breaching capabilities in the form of breaching charges. So swapping off of the Maverick, I would say that's not the most ideal thing to do, simply because it limits your capabilities now. Because if they do go downstairs, then you're limited. You're limited to 2 hatches or a hatch in a wall, or 2 walls, whatever you decide to do. Keep that in mind. Like, yeah, you may have slapped their butts twice on defense going down there, but they could still go down there. I would play the safe card and just keep the Maverick, or you stay Hibana and someone else, and he could go Buck or Sledge. But having 3 soft destructors and only 1 hard destruction and 1 support, that is very iffy at that
Or,
point.
or we have enough soft breach. I could go Jackal.
No, do the Buck.
He made a good call there, but what is he gonna do?
Okay, you guys didn't fucking decide.
Okay.
So
Yeah, you guys need to decide. Like, whoever made the call that you guys have enough soft breach was correct, entirely correct. You guys had plenty. You had gobs of it. So you have to decide to keep one thing or the other, or go one thing or another. It's good, I think, that he stayed as Maverick, because then you just have more options.
So I'm over here like
Just
flipping
pick
around.
one,
I'm a
pick
Geo.
one.
You picked the opposite.
I know, Spartan said Buck, and then you said Sledge, and I went to
If
press
she said
Sledge, and
something
then,
different, if she said
Jesus
something
Christ, it
different,
was too late.
To be fair, Jackal isn't apparently needed for you guys right now, because your Jackal player has been just fragging out, so an Ashe might actually do you guys good here, having that extra fragging capability.
Okay,
But
fine.
you sacrifice that utility of Jackal.
Keep your drones upstairs. Where are they? We know.
They're not tellers clear.
They're
We're
not
only-
tellers, then they're gonna be downstairs.
So now, look at that, they're downstairs. So now, look what would have happened if you had a soft breacher. You would have been absolutely, like, that would have been them celebrating downstairs so much, because you would have had no way to actually do anything. You could get the default wall to be able to do default plants downstairs, but then what hatch are you getting? Yeah, me honestly, personally, I have no idea which hatch I would get, because I have no idea how I would do that with only 1 hard reacher. Unless this is ranked where it doesn't matter and you can just kill them all, that'd be very, very difficult.
Yeah, so I guess we got lucky.
Yeah, you guys
We
got
got
very
really
lucky.
there. Oh my god.
I would recommend taking your drone and putting it in
They
archive.
have a pulse.
Yeah, but they'd still get the reinforced hash, meaning we'd have to waste a time with them.
Is that pulse not gonna see? Oh my god, that pulse did
I've got my
not see
drone
your
upstairs.
drone. That is horrible play on his part.
Same thing.
I would have put your drone in archives
Yeah.
because it's right next to the room
Just
you
do- I
need
don't
a
know
drone,
what's up, man.
and then you can drone it.
CEO and janitor are clear.
Someone's still doing
You
that.
laying down now? That's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a
Top
strat, it's a
square is
strat.
clear.
I mean, I don't blame you.
Dark's clear.
They
Alright, there's no lesion mine on that.
barricaded blue door.
CEO.
Kitchen is clear.
I don't
CEO.
I'm rolling through.
I don't know how I like that the Ashe is droning in you guys. She should be droning in herself, unless I'm just not gonna say that that's the IGL anymore. I have no idea at this point. I thought that I knew. You can correct me or not in a comment, but for this, the Ashe shouldn't be droning you guys in from what it looks like. It should be you guys droning her in, if anything. This is one of those moments where you can all spawn together because they're all probably going to be downstairs, so it doesn't really matter.
Wait, hold on. I'm hearing someone run around.
Is that above?
Pulse was last
And
year, I
that-
think he might still be there.
Yeah,
That Maverick is being
Yeah,
kind
you're
of
good, you're
ballsy
good,
with
you're
where
good.
he's sitting.
Dark's good. Upstairs is good. Upstairs is good.
Archives is clear. Tellers is clear.
hold on the staircase. I'll check.
Bomb has been located.
Good that he's getting to work on the hatches immediately, and you're just covering him. That's all you need to do right now.
Blue is clear. No, one in blue. One in blue. Ella. She's playing close.
I'm trying to
Okay.
think. I'm
Open
trying to
up.
get rid of it. I can't get the hatch.
But yeah, blue door's barricaded, it's partially open though.
Alright, cool.
Good job. That's actually a really great call that you said that it's barricade, but it's slightly open because of you. So good job on you.
Don't pick it.
There's someone above us?
I'm gonna drone it again. Is there?
I have no idea.
I don't hear anyone above you.
Get
It
your
might be
drone
below,
upstairs,
though.
Spartan. I've got this.
You located a bomb.
Reinforced.
Upstairs is good.
Ella's
They don't
still
have,
on.
they don't have the
Ella's
main
still
spot
on.
reinforced.
Jam's good. Stock's good.
Wait, can you watch blue? Spartan?
I'm gonna push pressure on the stairs.
I'm doing the wall. The hatch.
Yeah, it's taking
Hatch
the
is
Ash a
open.
long time to get in. You're walking in front of. What is this happening? You're walking in front of the Ash. That's not the best thing in the world. There is a Legion trap at the base of this door. I hope you saw that. Well, let's just continue playing this.
I'm gonna run that blue.
Legion tossing right here. I don't know what that's called. It's like the hall right by garage.
Red. There's two in red. There's two in red.
Is blue clear, Spartan?
I gotta kill one.
Since you guys are doing scrims, make specific callouts for areas. Ours is red door, or red jail, I guess would we call it sometimes. That is one of those places where it's hard to call it out downstairs. Make sure that people know where that is. Or CC door for red is another one. CC door for garage. CC nook is what we call it, because you have like this little hallway here and then it opens up into the actual room like this. Calling out nook for us is encompassing of this area here, because you can play that area. You have your reinforcement right here, you have the protection of red, and you have the protection of this wall. If you can dart over there fast enough, then you can stay in the room and contest it. Giving more specific callouts for your team, making sure that you guys are all on the same page with what your callouts are.
Drone go from upstairs.
Dude, Legion's
Two
close.
in red. Move to vault.
For all you know, your teammate could have a call out for that, but you don't know it.
If you want to jump down through the hatches, you can. Oh, you
Alright, and your teammate called Legions and Vaults, I think is what he said.
Tossing right here. I don't know what that's called. It's like the hall right by garage.
red. There's two in red. There's two in red.
Is blue clear, Spartan?
I gotta kill one.
I had to make my drone go from upstairs.
Dude, Legion's
Two
close.
in red. Move to vault. If you want to jump down through the hatches, you can. Oh, you already did. Okay.
No, Ella blue, bottom blue.
They
Oh,
actually
behind us. Or behind me. Oh, we never cleared out fucking server. What the hell?
Yeah, I never said it was clear!
Smoke is rotating the vault lobby. Smoke is holding.
Watch that. Oh, still in server.
Okay. I'll stop it right here for now. So from what it seems like, you guys didn't clear server. So here, if I can draw here, so we have server right here. And this is stairway leading up. This is the hatch. And then we have server rack here. So it seems like you guys blew this hatch, dropped it, and then left it be. Or you guys blew the hatch to CCTV and dropped it in there because you're like, hey, site's clear, it's for the taking. But then no one cleared out all of this. And rather, not even that, your IGL, the person that's making callouts, even never said that it was clear. So you guys need to be on the same page of clearing out stuff. Whoever dropped down and just did it without any thought or reasoning is way ahead of themselves. They need to be absolutely sure. Whatever it seems, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. You have to be absolutely certain that something is clear before you can take it. You guys know that no one's roaming upstairs, so the idea that site is just free for the taking, that they're all hiding in red back here in red hallway, that they're all hiding in red hallway or they're hiding in gold. Pulse is probably staring in to server and into CC with his pulse scanner, his cardiac scanner, and he probably saw you guys drop, and then that's when immediately after you guys dropped, Jaeger just went, okay, time to go back into site and take that back, because they obviously don't know what they're doing, and he got kills for it because you guys didn't have it cleared out. And you also have an Ella that's back in there, but Ella died. I don't know if you guys seemingly, maybe possibly what happened is you guys killed Ella and then you thought that it was clear or not, but again, you guys are just getting ahead of yourselves. He said you can drop the hatches and then you just dropped them. That's ballsy at best. And then right here, when it comes to you, when you blew this open, good job blowing it open with Sophia charge. You could have shot it open too, just to scare the shit out of him, I guess. But if you're gonna blow it open like that, use your other impact to impact the floor right next to him, because then it takes him down by like almost half HP, and it makes him his ears ring, so you can just push him, and if he's half HP now, your time to kill is cut in half as Sophia, because you have a plus 45 damage weapon. Your time to kill is 3 shots, so the first shot is instant, and then the second and third shots is with the fire rate. So if you remove this shot, all of a sudden you have an instant shot, and then all of a sudden it takes half as much time to kill someone. So if you can knock this down to 2 shots, then it's half as much time to TTK, and that can be less than his reaction time to shoot you with the shotgun shell at that close range. So probably would have been a better play for you there. Let's see how you play this out. I'm assuming, since you're saying now to check your cam, that you're just gonna see if he's still there, and then you're just gonna push him.
Is he still there?
He's dead.
And whoever just pinged on that, shoot them.
Huh?
Next chance you get, shoot them.
Main stair, smoke.
Seconds left.
You see how he was frantic there all of a sudden? He almost like ran back into this hallway here, because they all of a sudden told him, hey, you're being spotted. We know where you are. If you didn't tell him where you were, and your teammate had said, hey, he's still in that corner, he's crouched. You pre-fire crouch level, he's dead. He probably will see a sliver of you, and he's dead. So whoever pinged on that, shoot him next time you're in casual with them or something.
Both last seen right.
There's like heresy to do that.
There's
last
the
sword,
nitro,
last
he
sword,
fucked up
last
the
sword,
nitro.
last
You can
sword.
plant, you can plant.
Yeah, plant,
You can
plant.
I gotta pull first.
You just gotta hold it.
Plant. Oh my god.
Ooh.
Tell you. Yeah, doorway.
I tried.
Back up.
Okay. Poor. Piss poor. You barely got your kill there, and then if it wasn't for you killing Pulse, you would have been dead. There's like 3 different ways that you could have died. The smoke could have literally just smoked you off and stalled you. I don't know if he used his smokes for denying the plant over here just a little bit longer, but if he had used his smokes to delay you and reposition, you wouldn't have been able to push. You wouldn't have killed the Pulse. They would have been dead. You getting that kill was a bit of a lucky thing and a misplay on his part. More of a misplay on his part. You handled it very well, but more of a misplay on his part. And your team certainly didn't help you there because you had the information. You knew where he was. He didn't move, but he very easily could have because he knew he was being spotted. And then now with this, even though that he was saying doorway, if he had just thinking about this, I don't know if he did or not, but if he had pulled out his pistol and ran just that much bit faster, he could have killed Thermite, and now you don't have a plant. And now it's 0-0. He just has to down him, and I don't know if he's lit or not. Let me go back. I don't think Thermite was lit at all.
Yeah, doorway.
No, he was lit a little bit. That looks like 1 shot with his pistol. Nah, it wouldn't have downed him. 2 shots would have downed him. So what is that then? Less than half a second, and the round could have been over.
Doorway.
I tried.
Back up if you can.
Last operator standing.
Good try, dude.
Yeah. That was poor judgment. If we go back here, I just want to watch this over again.
I don't know what that's called. It's like the hall right by garage.
Red. There's two in red.
Is blue clear, Spartan?
I got a good one.
I had to make my drone go from upstairs to downstairs.
Dude, Lesion's
See the
low.
2 in red move to vault. If you want to jump down through the hatches, we can.
Yeah, there's the call for jumping down to hatches. We have a minute left, less than a minute left. I haven't heard any calls for time that I can remember right now. So just call out time. If there's a minute 30, say like my team, what we do, even in like just regular ranked play, just call out minute 30, minute, 50 seconds, 45 seconds. Like if you haven't made a call out within the last minute and a half, call out the time. Just say the time, nothing else. You don't have to say anything else. Even if you're alive or dead, keep an eye on the time. It tells your teammates how much you have to work with.
Oh, you already did. Okay.
No, yellow blue, bottom blue.
There's yellow, bottom, blue, but the call to drop happened, and within 2 seconds they dropped and 2 people died.
Oh, behind us. Or behind me. Oh, we never cleared out fucking server. What the hell?
Yeah, I never said it was
Is
clear.
Smoke is rotating the vault lobby. Smoke is holding.
He finally got the L and blue or server.
Watch that. Oh, still in server.
Guys, check my cam.
Server.
Hold my
It's
cam out
Jaeger.
vault lobby. Hold my
He's
cam vault
standing
lobby. Is he still there?
He's dead.
Ah! That just makes me audibly, like, my toes cringed every time.
Still there.
You asked for information and he pinged it for you instead of telling
Main
you.
stair. Smoke.
Seconds left.
Again, lucky and good play on your part.
Both last seen right.
10
You
seconds.
need to get in and
left.
start.
Lucky
There's
killing
nothing,
him
sorry.
because they didn't know where you were. He instantly refrags off of you, which is great.
Last
Nitro,
red,
you
last
can
is still
plant.
red.
You can plant.
Yeah, plant.
You can plant.
I gotta pull first.
You just gotta hold it.
Plant. Oh my god.
So that's the ideal. Thermite.
Tell you. Yeah, doorway. Doorway.
And one thing that the Legion actually did, which was kind of good, he made your Thatcher rely on callouts from your team by impacting them. I don't know if that was his idea of trying to whittle down their health anymore, if that was his idea. But you also have to keep in mind that during this entire engagement, if we go back here just a little bit.
Tell you.
Impact.
Yeah, doorway. Doorway.
I tried.
Back.
All the way until the bomb goes down, his ears are ringing. Thatcher can't hear anything. So what does he do? He has to rely on you guys to call out and drones and stuff where he is because he can't hear. So that doorway call was more important than it may seem, simply because he couldn't hear it. He had the ringing in his ear, so that's solely game sense. If he had gotten that kill and without you guys calling it out or anything, that would have been solely game sense of him thinking of where he's going to be at the next time he tries to peek.
Back up if you can.
And then
Good try, dude.
I would have probably ran like straight the fuck out of there and gone back towards server because there's no need for him to be there. He could have made it all the way up on the hatch as well and still had time to kill him if it was needed. That hatch was blown as well, if I remember correctly. Yeah, because that must have been the hatch that they dropped into and all died. So he could have just ran back up and gone up there. Excuse me. At that point, it's more or less staying alive as the attacker because now the time is in favor of you guys and not the defenders for once. And by the time that he gets up there, like, count it off. Like, one thing that you should do since you're now scrimming is count off where he is, which is, where is it? Right here in server. Count off how long it takes to go from here all the way up, going through server stairs, all the way up to kitchen, going all the way around, and coming to this hatch. Count how long it takes so that he knows, okay, if I run, assuming that he starts the second that I leave, like he doesn't shoot me at all, and he starts the second I leave, I have X amount of seconds to kill him before he defuses. Like, consider that. Games are won and lost because of
I
that.
tried.
Back up if you can.
Last operator standing.
The Thermite saying that they tried, they did exactly what they needed. They did their job. They planted. That was on you guys to cover that plant. So they did their job. That round is not their fault.
You can't just go front. You have to just. I
I
know.
pre-fired away, and he wasn't there. He just waited for.
I whiffed on the Legion. I killed Pulse, and I didn't realize Legion was right on top of him as well.
Like, we need to clear server. Fucking, I was calling out that there are
Yeah.
still people in server. Like,
Yeah, the biggest problem, I would say, is whoever made the call to drop. Whoever made the call to drop did not have enough information to make that call. And it seems like you guys have an IGL of that Thermite, which is Dagon, is what it looked like. Dahang, I don't know. The Thermite, it looks like that they are trying to be IGL and making callouts pushing you guys through, clearing you guys through, but then every now and then you have someone that says, hey, let's drop the hatch. And it's not the right call. I would recommend for you guys to basically just put someone up as the IGL. Say, okay, you are the IGL. You make the plays. Unless there's something completely and utterly in our control, you make the plays. You decide where we push from, how we push it. I.e., if you had someone saying, no, clear servers before you drop, then hey, you all of a sudden have a step-by-step guide as to how you're going to do this. You clear servers, okay, next step, we going to here. And that was like, it sounded like you had two different IGLs there for a second. One person making one call and one person saying, hey, why did you make that call when this is clear and clearly not clear? Like, I don't know what you're doing.
Like way too far into the round. We didn't get them out at all. And you guys were worried about pushing from the other fucking side.
Yeah, Dagon. Yeah. But yeah, he's completely right. Like, you guys knew that there was people in server in blue stairs. More or less, you knew for sure blue stairs because it was barricaded off, and you knew Ella was playing in it. And then you just didn't do anything about it. The reason why Ella on blue stairs with the shield is so powerful is because of what we just saw. If you don't clear that out, it is very, very easy for them to destroy you later in the round. Because it's hard. It's just hard to cover. They have so much cover, and you're sitting like a duck in the middle of sight. Your only place to hide is the site itself.
Because we had 40 seconds.
I know, because we didn't fucking clear like quickly.
Yeah, we took forever.
Yeah, we did.
You guys actually cleared it out pretty well. You guys taking until 0-0 actually isn't abnormal. Like, you guys shouldn't think that you have to plant with a minute or 30 seconds left. Yeah, you should plant as soon as you possibly can, of course, but you shouldn't think, oh, we planted at 0-0, that's bad. No, that's not necessarily bad. It just means that both sides, or the defender side, did their job in delaying you as much as possible. And you should be comfortable with planting on 0-0 with everything on the line, because you should have the cover like the Thatcher. The Thatcher was covering it. He just ended up missing his shots, and everything else fell to bits there. Like, at the very end there, it was a 2v1. You had 0-0. You could have planted. You started planting. The Thermite could have been planting in default spot. That was probably the only mistake that he made. If he had planted in default spot, he would have been a little bit more covered. But there's still the chance that that impact grenade could have downed him, and then he would have gone off the plant. So considering that and everything, it's not the best play on his part, but he still got the plant down. He did his job, you know. He stuck the plant, he didn't pull off of it, and he did it. And then it was on the Thatcher's job to cover him. But you guys should be comfortable with going to 0-0 and having that bomb being planted, and then having the 5 fucking defenders rush over that desk in CCTV to try and kill that one person. But yeah, you guys cleared very well. It didn't seem like you guys droned a whole lot upstairs. I could have seen you could have done more of that, or if you had pre-placed drones, then that's good too. You already cleared that out, but clearing out everything, making sure you have a plan, and executing it.
They have to get tellers.
Whoever called that one was upstairs. That threw me off, and it took me.
I
get my drone back.
didn't know.
No, it's not you.
No, it was my fault. I said to drone it though. I wanted to make sure because like.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, drone it, figure it out. Don't just. That was kind of a missed call on you. It wasn't a horrible call, but it was kind of a bad call in that you're just like, I think this is happening, which no one followed up on it. And because of that, one person, I don't know who it was on here, let's say it was a Jackal, he was paranoid of it the entire time. He thought that someone was going to be doing it. So you could have someone watching a flank that can't be flanked, basically. I don't think that was the case, but as he is now expressing his feelings of, I felt paranoid.
I could have sworn there was somebody upstairs.
It's all good, but yeah, that was time consuming getting my drone down.
Do we want sledge?
Yeah, he said it's time consuming. So you guys should plan that if you are very confident that they're going to go downstairs, or if you find out that they're going downstairs, have one or two persons, Yeah, that would work. Teammates, just put their drone upstairs. That way you know that whether or not someone's roaming, you can clear it out a lot quicker and a lot more efficiently and get downstairs quicker. So keeping that in mind as you're doing this.
Or should I bring IQ for
Bring.
Vigil?
IQ sucks on this map though, remember?
It's too
That's
late.
I know.
I like the humor with that.
Six
Alright.
pick and then
Also,
get a yes
this
or a no.
lineup is
No,
actually
I'm
Alright.
kidding. It's fine, it's
fairly
fine.
good.
Having
True.
both.
Quiet.
You have your same entry fragger on his roll, and it looks like the other one is on Buck now. You still have thermite, which you can use to get both small office wall into archives and teller's circle desk or teller's main stairs wall, whichever ones that you want to get. It depends on how you guys are going to push it, but from what looks like
No
all
more
of you
talking.
spawning
Alright,
open area, you're going to get the
top square
small
and
desk wall
stop. Take top
or small office wall.
From what I
vertical.
remember from my old team,
Then take
the
over.
Vigil that they picked is stuck, and he will be all the way upstairs.
Okay.
That's kind of funny that he knows the old team and he knows what they're gonna play. I'm not gonna lie. But if you guys know that that's gonna be a thing, then get ready for it.
They're also opening the main wall.
That wall by white, yeah.
If we can play
Yeah.
coordinated
That thing I was
enough,
talking
we can try to take over.
We could ignore the dude upstairs and
Yeah.
go for the guy
Like
alone
watch.
on the main staircase.
I would do that.
We could do that
Yeah,
instead.
Two people
We could just push
reinforcing
garage.
upstairs.
Insertion in 5
Yeah,
seconds.
so take garage, kill the guy on the main stairs that has to stay there,
Okay.
so we can get in. And the wall's soft, so I can just buck it and we can walk right in. Meaning they'd have to come back.
I hate that plan because everyone's right here. If you're gonna take garage, spawn parking garage, then you can just walk down and take it. If everyone spawns here, you know what that tells the enemy team? Everyone spawns here. Yeah, you can throw them off by going over to parking garage and then taking it afterwards, but you're gonna tell them exactly what you're doing because you're gonna have to destroy the cam over in parking garage to be able to go that way. But if you had one person spawn at parking garage and destroyed the one cam that's way the fuck out here, and then parking garage cam, and then you also had someone destroy this cam by spawning back here, well then you know you at the very least confuse the team into not knowing exactly what you're going to do. You destroying one cam and leaving up two others outside tells them exactly where you are. And if you destroy any more cams outside, that tells them even more about where you are. Think about where you're spawning and what you're going to do.
We want to just like do a full rotation on this push. Not all of us go garage, obviously. That's not a good idea.
Yeah, but you also have to think, the second that you guys do rotate, they're going to know about it.
Test, let me go over.
One
At
is
the very
playing
least,
top
spawning in all
Retro
different
Retro.
directions gives you ambiguity as to where they
push
are.
this, dude.
I'm not going to
Also, let me give you a little tips and tricks here. Maybe Serenity and give you a red arrow. No, I'm not gonna do that. Let me go back a little bit more.
On this push. Not all of us go garage, obviously. That's not a good idea.
Alright. Because this bug kind of wasted time. If you vault up onto this ledge here, and you walk across here, and then you walk across here, you can actually vault onto the roof. That way you can waste less time, and then you're not sitting like a duck rappelling on these windows, and rappelling and it being exposed to this door here. It's also fun as a defender to get up on the roof, but, you know, tips and tricks. Save him a little bit more time, and it'd be safer for him.
Test, let me go over.
One is playing top floor and stop.
Retro, I'm gonna turn you.
Have both patches open in open area.
Don't push this, dude.
I'm not going to
What was that called?
Not a good idea.
Test, let me go over.
One is playing top floor and stop.
Retro, I'm gonna turn you.
Have both patches open in open area.
Don't.
Okay, so that's important. One person is playing upstairs in stock. Both hatches are open in open area. I don't know if he pinged him because he saw him and he thought he was going to lose his drone. So he's like, hey, give you exact
Don't push
position,
this,
but
I'm not going to
shouldn't ping it. And that's like the perfect situation of he got pinged. He knows he's spotted. That's a horrible arrow. I can't draw arrows today. He knows he's spotted. Jackal shoots into the windows and notifies him that they know where he is. If he starts pre-firing out, bye-bye Buck, or at least HP loss. So
He's my champ.
thinking about that, and now
So wait,
you're
what's the-
doing
you wanna
this.
rotate all the way to
Not,
garage?
he's not on main stairs right now. He's not on
Again, tips and tricks.
Stairs.
Practice that. It's a little
So
parkour,
it's open.
but it's not too
Meaning
hard to
he's
do.
downstairs
You
somewhere.
do it with a
If we
3
kill the
armor
one
too.
guy downstairs, we have like psyched already. Because they left that wall soft for
They're
us.
playing
All we gotta do is
above
open
and
it and run in.
Ooh, that's horrible. This little bugger got you. You should have seen that right there. You should have been more cautious about droning this. You already had someone droning it as well, which makes me think that you guys aren't coordinating as much. Because if I go back here,
So it's open then. Meaning he's downstairs somewhere. If we kill the one guy downstairs, we have like psyched
so he is droning. So you should just ask him, "Hey, is it clear? Can I go in?"
already.
Like walking in and taking this control is better than nothing. Destroying the cam, letting them, the less information they have, the longer, the better. Now they have, but
Because they
then we
left
go
that wall
in,
soft
They're
for us.
playing
All we gotta do is
above
and
open
we
it
just
run
kind
in.
of,
Don't go.
we know Mozzie's on the board, so we need to be careful of that. Yeah, that's, I don't want to say it's a plain brain dead. I never actually read this stuff. That is the dumbest error messages I've ever heard. But if, like, it's kind of a brain dead play to put your Mozzie pest in the middle of the floor like that because they can just shoot it, but at the expense of being exposed to the vigil and this entire hallway. That ends up being a decent play if they're going to play aggressive like what he is doing right now. But you should have just been more careful. Like, that's plain and simple. Just be more careful when there's Mozzie on the board. It's like
Going alone,
getting your
Thatcher,
drone stuck in a
no.
bone
Yeah, Vigil's in
carrot.
main hall.
Thatcher, come back out. Thatcher. They're playing above.
They're playing hard upstairs, yeah.
No, they're playing top though.
Watch out, Jack. I'll open it.
Balloon's garage.
Bottom main stairs is still clear, guys.
Vigil's stuck.
I want to actually go back here.
Don't go in alone, Thatcher. Please no.
Did I?
Vigil's in the main
I want to
hall.
see if I saw
Thatcher,
this
come back
correctly
out.
or not.
Thatcher. They're playing above.
They're playing hard upstairs, yeah.
No, they're playing top though.
Watch out, Jack. I'll open it.
Balloon's garage.
I know.
Bottom main stairs
But-
is still clear, guys.
Vigil's stuck.
Yeah, it's a little bit low on your reaction time for that. You should have seen the man standing up on the desk. It was a little out of place for what
They're
was
playing
happening
top,
there.
though.
Watch out, Jack. I'll open it.
Because I saw it
Balloon's garage.
immediately. Like, the second that I saw it, I saw
Bottom
something
main
out of
main
place.
stairs is still clear, guys.
Yeah, he's just standing up there. Gosh. That would have been the easiest kill of his life. And he almost killed you because you can see the bullet trails going right past you here. So he hit your shoulder is what he did. If he was a little bit better of a shot, you would have been dead.
Vigil's stuck.
Bottom main stairs is still clear.
Vigil's dead.
Okay.
I will also would like to say that you did not tell your teammates that Mozzie captured your drone. If it's still sitting there, letting him know that will better alleviate that. But you need to communicate that
checking
your
that
team
drone.
that Mozzie does in fact have more utility than what he last had.
Drone every once in a while.
He's on main stairs now.
Okay, bet.
I don't see where he went. Sorry.
Someone's
He's dead, he's dead,
sensors
he's dead.
Never
going
mind, he's
off.
not there anymore. He's not there anymore. Whoever's joining me, I believe.
They have a leash. There's a good mine there. Watch out. Cast right in front of you. Right in front
Yeah, I
of
was
you.
about to say you better tell him that there's a goon mine right at the doorway.
Maestro is lit on site.
Yeah, he's on pin.
Is Mozzie still upstairs?
I'm droning right now. Give me a second. Someone conference? Yeah, it's Mozzie conference.
That's you. Shit. They have a Maestro cam watching you, Buck. One on site. Two on site and then one upstairs. Two on site, one
Where's the
upstairs.
maestro?
Maestro is in fucking servers and Legion is in Teller's office.
I like that. My show's in fucking servers, not servers, fucking servers.
Can we clear this Mozzie?
Yeah, we need to clear the Mozzie. We have a
That's
minute
what we're
left.
trying to do.
I'm armed.
Mozzie.
I probably would have done, if I were you, I would have continued to drone, just so you can clear him faster. If you tell him that, like, droning into janitor, you saw that there's a rotation hole, so say rotation hole in janitor, but janitor clear, letting him know that it's clear, and then continue your drone over here so that he can get closer and potential to kill him quicker. Just being more efficient with it at that point. That's probably my first nitpicky thing that I've said. I would
Alright,
say.
last two on site. I'm gonna go.
Also, if we go back here,
Matida.
they already have open holes. Look down their open holes. A lot of times teams don't know where the open holes are that their teammates make. This is higher level play, so they should know this. Everyone should be on the same page for this. But look down their holes. See what they see. And then see if you can get a pick off of it. Because they know where the hole is above them. They heard their teammate making it, so maybe they think they're safe now.
On site. I'm gonna go.
But good job starting to rework the floor to your advantage.
On site. They didn't reinforce this.
Right now, he ran out of the site.
Where?
Bomb has been located.
He's out towards main area.
We should
Yeah, he's still there. No, he's still in sight.
have
No, he's
verified that the camera was destroyed, which I don't think it was, if I go back. Also, tips and tricks, if you throw a nade on the floor and then you break it with the sledgehammer, or Buck, he can do this as well, then you can basically just nade someone on the floor for free. That's, I don't want to say it's very niche, but it's more niche than a typical game will go. But it makes it so you don't have to face check something. Just a thought for that.
On site. They didn't reinforce this.
Right now, he ran out of the site.
Where?
Bomb has been
But camera is still live. We didn't destroy it. If they were a good team, they would have been watching it to tell this Legion if someone was coming, or there's a Maestro cam in here that they're watching.
Main area.
Alright, I'm gonna plant.
Yeah, he's still there.
And we knew that he left site. How long ago did he leave site?
Alright, last two on site. I'm gonna go.
We should also, like he said, last two on site. That's one thing that I should probably be more clear on. Telling him, okay, is it archives over here? I cannot make X's or arrows today. Archives, or is it tellers? Like, which site is it? Like, yeah, site is nice, but site consists of 2 rooms that is very, very large.
Op 4 last.
On site. They didn't reinforce this.
Some last one on site. Which site?
Right now, he ran out of the site.
Ran out of the site.
Where?
Bomb has been located.
He's out towards main area.
Out towards main area. So we know he ran out of sight. I didn't hear any running sounds if I were you watching this. So reason to believe that he's somewhere close to where we are. If I were you at this point, if you thought that he was out farther away, I would have gone to the banana stairs, or spiral stairs I should just call it. Spiral stairs, and go down it and see where he is, if you think that he's over here, because it gives you more cover that way, instead of just dropping down. Now you're just a sitting duck sitting in the middle of the open area of main lobby.
Alright, I'm gonna plant.
Yeah, he's still there. No, he's still in sight. No, he's main area. Yep, he's playing
And then you're curious, like, where is he? I
in like a
where
little
he
corner.
is.
Right there, to your right, Valley, right there. In that doorway.
50. 75. It's done.
Online attack.
Oh, fuck, he came up. Dude, I need to
Go
call.
up top, go up top,
Chill.
go up top.
Go. I didn't know where he was.
He's rotating to open. He's open right now.
Good job on calling them open.
Just stay up there and watch from the hatch. Or not the hatch, from there.
I would stay on that drone, because now what's happening is he's watching through open window, which isn't the best place to watch. He's actually watching a good rotation right here, because he has to cross his line of sight for him to see him. He could impact the wall over here, but he's probably not going to do that. Stay on that drone so that you know where he is, because he could come up to the right of Thatcher, and Thermite isn't watching that for him. So he could easily die and defuse with Thermite not being able to do anything about it.
No. Last scene going towards open.
Oh shit.
Friendly,
it's-
last
Still
operator
open,
standing.
still open.
Sorry.
Just hold.
Just stay on your cam.
Sam.
Good shot.
There you go, you killed him.
4 eliminated.
I shouldn't have jumped in. I just thought he was going for the plant. I was like, he's gonna be fucking defusing, isn't he? But I forgot that you could see that.
Ooh! He almost got you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that
Now we
guy's
get to see
good, the rest of the
defense.
Did you say
Shit.
nice try, you bitch?
I'm not toxic. I'm sorry.
Not
No,
fun.
that's being
Alright,
fair.
downstairs.
That was a very good try. He got 4 of us. He was almost clutched that. He knew where he was.
I wanted to go downstairs.
Okay, I was gonna say we could try it.
I recommend not saying nice try, rather good round, GR. Nice try is kind of a toxic thing to be on your teammate's side. Also, since you're on defense now in bank, this is where you really get to decide if you have, I don't want to say the, I'd rather say it's like, this is where you figure out if you guys can actually play coordinated or not, because this is the one of the more coordinated maps to play on. If everyone's not on the same page, you're dead because there's so much stuff that you need to do in
Okay, do you
defense.
want to pulse? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I probably would have 6-picked the Kaid if I were you. Smoke is viable on every site. Legion is viable on every site. Pulse is viable on every site. Vigil is I don't want to say a throw pick. We can see how he plays it. But it's one of those, he's viable on every site as well. But the Kaid is very, very specific as to where you're going to go. So if you 6-pick it, then you can maybe trick them into, I don't know, maybe pulling out someone else instead of, because they may switch the Buck now to a Maverick because they're like, okay, they're going downstairs, so we can go down there. But they could also think, oh, you're going to 6-pick off of the Kaid. So this is the mind games as well, too. But
Should get a Jaeger.
Rect and Vigil, you both.
I mean, if
roaming?
you want, I could 6 off Pulse the Jaeger.
Nah.
If
I
you
can't-
wanna, okay, actually, I have
I
a
would
really
not do
dirty little
that.
thing we could do in open area if you just
Yeah, Rect.
wanna follow what I'm doing.
Upstairs roam is all up to you.
Top, I don't do that. That's risky.
Wait, I want to see
Because-
that. I want to see if it actually changes it in game,
Yeah,
or if it
Rect.
just
Wanna follow
doesn't.
what I'm doing.
Upstairs roam is all up to you.
Yeah, it doesn't. Okay, so fun fact, you have the extended barrel attachment. This 38 damage actually goes up to 40 if you didn't know that. So that you can kill people actually sooner. Well, 3 speeds is all you can kill sooner with 1 less shot. Keep that in mind when you're playing him. I wouldn't recommend the extended barrel. I'm gonna pull the old Rogue 9. Extended barrel is the most worthless gun attachment in this game card, unless you're on Frost or who else was it? I can't remember. There's one other that you could argue it's good for, but every other operator it's not really good for. If you argue, well, I want to get long range kills, it's 1 less shot. If you think that you're gonna survive, what is that? I think it's 5 shots with the UMP. It's either 5 or 6 shots with the UMP with the extended barrel. If you're gonna think you're gonna survive that many shots at long range before you get domed at this level of play, then they just aren't watching for you, and you got very, very lucky.
Top, I don't do that. That's risky.
Because you said you wanted to. I mean, I'm saying like you tell Value what to do.
Secure the area.
Yeah, just follow me.
Okay.
Also, I didn't like the idea that you guys possibly switched off the pulse for the Jaeger. If anything, the Vigil should have swapped off the Vigil for the Jaeger for the better utility. You are very, very important with this. I hope you stay in gold and just call out where they are.
No waste your shot.
Meet me in Tellers. Meet me in Tellers.
I wish I could just spectate this, be a fucking pro league caster and spectate this to get a full view, because this is going to be hard to decide what you guys are doing.
Yes, right?
No, we're not playing.
Okay, so get those. Hey,
Alright,
come in
What
here
did you
when you're
say?
done with Tellers.
I would go after that drone, for one.
Do we want server hatch reinforced? Yes, right?
No, we're not playing.
Okay, so get those. Hey,
Alright, so you guys do have a set plan that
come
you're
in
going
here
to do.
when you're done with Tellers. Come to Tellers. Tellers.
Drone.
Get the 2
Good
doorways.
job.
Get both doorways.
There we go, perfect.
10 seconds to insert.
Right.
So, I can already tell you're not counting drones, so count drones. You guys are at the higher level of play, count drones. It's worth your time.
Do you have any more reinforcements left?
Yeah.
Right here.
5
how many
seconds
is
left.
Just one. Wait, you have another one left?
Yeah.
Surveillance on bomb.
I guess
Op
here.
4 has a
Wait,
diffuser.
do you want this to be a rotate? Like I can make it so you can hop.
Whoa, whoa, chill.
You have all this space.
That's fine.
All right.
I'm just rotating.
Yeah, now you know how I
Op
feel.
4 has located
We
a
just,
bomb.
if we need to keep moving back, just keep moving back. We don't need to like challenge anything.
That's a really good call, whoever made that call. Oh, smoke. I don't know who did that, but that's sad. You guys, that's just something you'll fix next round if you fail this one. But Good call on whoever made that you don't have to challenge anything. Just
Oh, I
stay
smoke at
alive.
50 HP.
I'm dead worried. So
No. That's
Ooh.
glass dead. Glass dead.
Scanning.
What
Yeah,
the
They're in server. There's
heck?
already one in
Wait,
server.
wait,
Rushed
wait.
dirt. They rushed dirt.
Just keep moving back. We don't need to like challenge anything.
Yeah, he pushed up. That was piss poor on his part. He should know who he is. If anyone has a reasoning to be up that far, it's the Vigil. Oh my gosh, I can do arrows. It's the Vigil, or it's the Kite if he's put down all his electric claws. The smoke should not be up that far. That is not a good call on his part to be up that far this early in the round.
Why smoke at 50 HP?
I'm dead worried. So
No. That's glass.
And he was trying, like, someone asked, why is he at 50 HP? And he's just trying to focus. He barely said anything. He's just trying to focus to get the fuck out of there. And his teammate over here, Dagan, is trying to cover his ass while he gets out. But he got glass.
Scanning.
Yeah,
They're in
rushed-
server. There's already one in
they
server.
Rushed dirt. They rushed dirt.
There's one in server.
One on
Just
blue, you
chilling
said?
there. No, one in.
You know what they probably did was they saw, okay, there's no one in dirt and there's no one in server, so we can just take it. Like, you have to think about that. Like, if you don't have anyone on server stairs and you don't have anyone in server and you don't have anyone in CC, then what's stopping them from taking this? Like, think about this too while you're on attack. Look at how fast that they took it. Less than a minute into the round and they have almost into the site. Like, they're set up, or they're getting ready to get set up to do something about this. Like, yeah, you have your Vigil still roaming here, but if they have a flank watch, then what do you do? You know, which they're probably going to get ready to do because you can only see one person here, so they're probably getting ready to kill him. They're probably fully aware that he's
Server, one in
roaming.
server. He's directly on that ping. He hasn't moved.
Roaming it.
He's holding the doorway. Two people in server. Pushing into CC. He's right on CC.
Well, that's CC
Like on the
wall.
CC wall.
We're just gonna
Yeah.
chill, blue. We're just gonna.
It seems like you need to get more familiar with where everything is in here. Just go into a custom game, have someone stand in different places, and tell them to just change where they are in server and make them call out where you are, or call out where you think they are, and tell them and have them tell you if you're right or not. Basically that, because you said that they were pushing in. That could have caused that Kaid to overpeak, and the person that's watching the thermite go and put that charge on could have killed him. So understanding where in server it is comparatively to you is a good thing to do. So again, just go into a custom game and just review where they are. Just simple stuff. Continue here.
They're getting the wall open.
They're pushing up to blue. They're on blue. One in blue.
Almost.
One's CC. No, one's server still. He's pushing into CC. He's
I'm gonna spook him.
two people. One still CC.
And then also a good thing to do is understand what the animation looks like for them to start to plan, because their body, because it's Ubisoft and they have to be detailed with everything, their heartbeat thing will actually move how they actually plan. So if you get the right look of how it actually looks on the pulse scanner for someone to plant, both vertically and horizontally like that, then you can effectively stop the plants. Like right here, good. You
I just
notice,
hit hash. We're gonna buy up some time. We should be
Behind
buying
us.
some time right now.
but it was,
Behind us on site, guys.
I was gonna.
This
I
guy's
would
still
say-
here. He's in CC. Behind me. They're in vault. Yeah.
Ooh,
They're
is
planting.
there callouts for
I'm
that?
gonna spook him.
Two people. One still CC.
Well, there's an explosion. At that point, I would ask who did that. Just so that's like basically just a sanity check. Like, hey, someone blew something. Hey guys, where is it? Oh, it was me. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. Oh, it wasn't me. Or hey, who blew that? Was it you? It wasn't me. Okay, we got another problem. That's just little check off as you go. Make sure all your ducks in a row. Make sure everyone's on the same page. And if someone's not on the same page, there's a problem, and you have to remedy that. So they probably droned you out. They knew you were in there because Kaid's watching where you are. You're watching this. Vigil's upstairs, and I don't know where Legion is, but he most certainly is not over in Vault, or at the very least he's at main stairs, because Ash just dropped down and killed you. So If you hear an explosion behind you and no one's behind you, that's one of those checklist things. Something's wrong.
I just hit hatch.
behind
We're gonna
us?
buy up some
Yeah,
time.
see?
We should
He's up here. You heard an explosion behind you. Who's behind you?
be
Behind
buying
us.
some time right now.
There's a call for behind us.
Behind-
I will fully admit that I was focused on what you were doing as well. I still hate how it says connecting. What are you connecting to? You're connecting to the pulse rate of someone else. Okay. Back to the game. You heard the call behind,
Behind us on site.
but at that
guys.
point you're already dead.
This guy's still here. He's in CC. Behind me, they're
Yeah.
in vault. They're
That's basically just tunnel vision on your part, I would say. That's being more aware. That's that checklist thing I was talking about again. Like, the other person had the checklist in their head. They're, okay, there's an explosion. It was behind me. There's no one behind me. There's someone behind me. Hey, guys, there's someone behind us. Starting up that check mark again. Because he called it out. He made a good call.
in vault, yeah.
They're planting.
That's
Planting, I
Ashton's
can't
fault.
do anything.
Good flank, dude.
I got it.
Op 4 is
Oh my god, dude. He's
On
nutty.
site, other side of site.
Yeah, that's his Ash. That's his Ash.
Easy dubs.
It was a good flank. But I don't know what to say about it. Because they were kind of split in the wrong ways. They had one person doing his own thing, and then everyone else was attacking site. That IQ just simply wasn't watching the flank. If IQ actually did her job and watched the flank and killed the Legion, then that would have meant nothing. He wouldn't have even gotten one kill. So thinking about that, if I actually go back, let's go back here. Ash killed you.
They're planting.
That's
Planting, I
Ashton's
can't
fault.
do anything.
Good flank,
Yeah,
dude.
he got 2 of them,
I got it.
Op 4 is
and IQ's up there. So if we look,
Behind us on site, guys.
This guy's still here. He's in CC. Behind me, they're in vault. They're in vault, yeah.
They're planting.
That's
Planting, I
Ashton's
can't
fault.
do anything.
yeah, if that IQ actually was doing her job, he would have been dead.
Good flank, dude.
I got it.
They would have planted, and
god, dude, he's
you
Other
would have
nutty.
side,
lost.
other side of site.
Your entire defense relied on one person screwing up. That was it. I don't want to say that's a piss poor defense, but that's nearing on it. You're entirely relying on one person to do a huge play on a mishap by them. A big mishap, keep that in mind. This wasn't something small or tiny. This was a huge mistake by them. Something that they will fix, hopefully. And something that when you get better, go against better teams, they will fix this. So it's a huge misplay on one of their teammates
Site.
Yeah, that's his Ash. That's his
that
Ash.
made it possible for your teammate to do this.
Nice shot.
Dude, good
Easy
flank.
fucking dubs.
Spartan.
Bro, that
I
flank
didn't
was...
know that wasn't reinforced. I thought we had everything reinforced down here.
Yeah, and then see what he said? He didn't know that everything was reinforced. Remember when I said that there's so much to do on this site? You have to reinforce everything. You should have, because you didn't reinforce this one hatch over here. Okay, so that's one reinforcement that's not done. But you should have 2 people that are able to get the other hatches. There's 2 in open area that you can get. So there's 2 over there in open area that you can get. And then there's 2 in elevator and main lobby. Those 2 should have been got. End of story. Like, just end of story. So that's 2 reinforcements used right there. You used one of yours for, or 2 people's reinforcement, not 2 reinforcement, 2 people's reinforcement. You used one of yours for the wall, which is good. You probably should have reinforced the other wall as well, because then, well, it's just more redundancy for that. Because if you already had a plan to not reinforce this hatch, then that's good. Keeping in mind as well that if your roam goes kaput and you actually don't succeed at the roam, if you don't have this reinforced, they get a free look into site for a post plan, and it's just that much harder to take site back. And then you have a reinforcement right here that the Kai probably did, so that's another one. And then I think you also had the wall behind you reinforced, so he used his. So one person didn't use the reinforcements, or they put them somewhere else and you guys don't know where it was. So like you're at the point of competitive, like this is competitive, like actual competitive play. This isn't ranked anymore. This is competitive play. Everyone has to use their utility. Everyone has to be on the same page. You have to keep track of this. You should just have, okay, one Dagan, you're gonna get this wall and garage wall. Me, US Pulse, you're gonna get the server or CC wall, the server walls, both of them. Jaeger or not Jaeger is the Vigil. You're gonna get elevator hatches and main lobby hatches. Well, just hatch, not hatches. And then Legion, you're gonna get open area hatches. So we got open area hatches. Okay, we have 2 reinforcements left. What do we want to do with them? Are we gonna make it? We're gonna put it on the one person that has to get set up in sight the most. So Smoke, who's making rotation holes both sides, so that he can save his ammo, his TCSG ammo. Are you making different kill holes? Or what are you doing with it? Like, figure out where you're putting all this stuff. You have to have this structured because, like I said, if you don't have this structured and you don't have everyone on the same page, it can fall apart quick, just like it almost did that round.
It worked out that the hatch wasn't reinforced because I was able to open it.
No,
Yeah, yeah,
The
that was
whole
not
point,
even
the whole point of that hatch not being reinforced is so you can do that. By the way.
Yeah, he says that that hatch isn't reinforced, so you can do that. But if you don't have that hatch reinforced, or if you have that hatch open, keeping in mind that that was a pretty good look into sight for the Legion to see. But imagine if it was a post plant and you're sitting alone. Excuse me. You're sitting alone on site with maybe 3 other people, and they have all the flankers dead or the roamers dead. So the Legion and the Vigil. Oh, excuse me. Legion and Vigil are dead, and they're watching the flank. So you now have to contest the IQ, who has a better flank watch now and knows where you're going to be coming from. And what are you going to do? You know, like, that's just so much harder to do. And what's even better, since they had an IQ, they probably called out that you were in gold. So that's exactly what Ash did. She broke open hatch, main lobby hatch, and she just gunned for you, like, instantaneously. That was kind of funny, not gonna lie.
I know. Server wall wasn't reinforced, so that they just rushed dirt and Spartan died. But I got a pick off of it, so it's okay.
Yeah, server wall wasn't reinforced. So the one wall that you should have reinforced was unreinforced.
Yeah, you got the
You got to pick, and then I heard them planting, and I was like, all right, YOLO, yeet.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, like, that's him saying, like, hey, I did not expect to live through that. That was entirely luck on my part. Imagine if IQ was 1, watching the flank, or 2, she was behind the Thatcher and just immediately killed. Like, she was in dirt tunnel, and she just killed him immediately after he peeked. Like, what are you going to do then? Like, you guys would have lost that round. Easily.
I didn't know what to do. I just heard the plant sound, and I was like, oh, fuck, I got to stop this.
Alright, we need at least 1 roamer for upstairs. Spartan, you're playing in janitor.
Upstairs? What?
We're upstairs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all
Secure the
upstairs.
area.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to be playing this little stock
I
area.
need 1 roamer for upstairs. Anyway,
You don't-
Spartan, you're playing in janitor.
You don't need a roamer. You can have a soft roamer, is what I call it, which is just basically roaming near site. So, which isn't immediately controllable by site to control. So, like meeting over here, that's immediately being controlled by having control of B. You do not have to control meeting to control, or if you control meeting, you control B. So they're one and the same. Whereas if you control stocks, however, you don't have any control of site, but it's right next to site. Like, you can get away with sitting in stock for like the first 30 seconds of the round to a minute of the round, waste their time a little bit, and then retreat to site. Like, that's very easy to do. So you don't have to have a roamer for this. Roamer could only go downstairs. You could, as Valkyrie, the bandit could to C4 as well, but you don't have to.
One reinforcement in janitor. What the fuck? Who? Okay. I only want 1 there, but it's.
Go for that drone. Don't do that.
Alright,
Bad.
open up.
Yeah, it was
Um,
yeah, I was just kidding.
The reason why I'm telling you that that's bad, and the reason why I've told you before to count your drones as you destroy them, is they are the most powerful gadget in the game. Hands down. They are the most powerful gadget in this entire game. They were more powerful than Lion's gadget because they enabled Lion's gadget to be powerful. Destroy any drone you see. If you don't destroy it, at the very least, tell your teammates where it's going into. Drone going into janitor. So the next person, because Smoke was reworking janitor, he could have just, okay, take 2 seconds to kill the drone.
Op 4 has located a bomb. Be ready for assault. 10 seconds remaining.
Actually, you might try to see that impact.
Oh no.
5
Oh
seconds
no.
to count.
They counter it.
Chase after it.
I don't know, it doesn't matter. I'll try it anyway, we have a
I
band.
mean, I'm gonna be playing like right out here, so.
Be ready for
See, I have not played Valkyrie since the new perspective changes, so I'm curious to see what you use for our camera spots because I need new camera spots. So I won't be too harsh on camera placements. Both of them are good so far, and quite hidden, but easily found because they're bringing IQ. We know that they're probably gonna stick the IQ too, so keeping that in mind as well.
Just right here. If you have one more left.
Good job pulling that, shooting that out, so you actually have a way to rotate.
They're repelling on
More,
my window.
you're more value blue alive than dead.
Shut up.
One is on north.
I love that pun. One, IQ can see you, and two, you're exposed to the windows right there if you go back.
They're repelling
Why
on my
can't
window.
You're more value blue
Rewind 5 seconds.
alive than dead.
Shut up.
One is on north.
So we get on right there, so we can get shot plain through that window. Either by IQ's gadget or just being shot at. I think the wall behind us is unreinforced as well, so we can get shot from parking garage as well. I think you can get an angle on. Yeah, you could. So we'll see how this plays out.
Just remember that
They're
on
already
the
top square, top square.
Yep.
They're
That's
repelled,
Sophia,
they're
top
on
square. She, they already got my camera.
Yeah. See,
I'm okay.
IQ already spotted.
Hey, Sophia, here.
Just
Valuable,
watch.
you know.
Impulse, watch confidence, watch confidence.
Left side's open.
Have that castle practice impact tricking. And also, if I go back here.
Just remember that
They're
on
already
the
top square, top square.
Yep.
They're
That's
repelled,
Sophia,
they're
top
on
square.
Yeah, and he was also like kind of surprised that you said that because right as you said that he died. Be on your cameras a little bit quicker after the round starts so that you can catch the stuff as it's happening. Have one person, which it should be you in all honesty because you're Valkyrie. Someone with cameras as a gadget, so Valkyrie, Echo, Maestro, someone who should be on cameras. Have them be on cameras at the beginning of the round every single time. This is like religious to me. I like religiously do this every single round, even if it's casual. Now that I think about it, is to just get on the cameras and see where they're pushing from. Because if I know where they're pushing from, then that can tell me a lot about what's going to happen next. Remember when I said that? I just want to get off of this screen of static for a second.
She's already.
Remember when I said that you guys all spawn back here, and then if you decide to push through garage, they're going to instantly know about it? Well, that's the same thing that goes here. If only the back alley cam is destroyed, you know where all of them are. So there's 2 different places they can push from. Well, 4 different places actually. But you have an idea of where they're going to be before they're even there. And you can relay that to your Jaeger and tell him that. So he's prepared for that. So keeping that in mind as we move forward. And then also, whoever broke these off, I don't know if they have a laser sight on or what they did, but they just need to break it all more. This one's kind of good. This one's just, yeah, but also make sure that that castle practice impact tricking, because you can always destroy a thermite charge with an impact because it can't sit low enough on the wall to be able to not be impact trick. Hibana charges are the only things that can get through, unless you're on Villa and you place your thermite charge on the floor and get the bottom of the reinforcement. Then you can't really do anything about it.
Weird me.
Just
Valuable, you don't.
And you should
Impulse,
not.
rush.
It looked like you're gonna C4 for
Left
the
side,
trick, but I really hope you wouldn't have done that.
Ah, what the fuck? Okay, that's your top square. One's on main stairs,
Op 4 located a bomb. Protect
in
it.
stock.
Friendly,
Where's
last operator.
Sophia?
Okay,
You're
that was a
way
quick
too
one.
Sophia's
close.
banana.
Way too close to the wall there. If you want, well, I can just explain it here. If you want a better explanation, I can give you a video for how to peek. I don't know how relevant. Well, it's still relevant. I shouldn't say that it's not a relevant video anymore. I don't know how much more relevant it's going to be for you. It might give you a little bit more of a tips and tricks kind of thing, and to give you more of an idea of what ping does. Ping is a little bit different than what the video explains it as. I know that for sure, but it does explain what you're doing right here, which is peeking super close to the wall here. Your side of your body is exposed right now to anyone that peeks over here, and they're going to see you before you see them. This is why I think that the devs put leaning in the game in the first place, so that you can actually walk far enough away so that when you lean, your camera is going to see them at the same time as their camera sees you. So you should not sit this close, because as you're sitting here, you're like a sliver of your body is being shown, and that's just enough for them to pre-fire you. And that's exactly what I expect to see in this kill cam.
In stock.
And you even moved closer to it. Try to not hug walls like that.
Where's Sophia?
Okay, that was a quick one.
Sophia's banana.
Oh no, she was behind you. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, no, she's behind you. So
Shit.
Guys, I had a
that was how?
Left side's up.
I missed it. Ah, what the fuck?
Wait, did they call left side Sophia?
He's so weird me.
Just
Valuable, you
rush.
don't.
Impulse, rush confidence, rush confidence.
And he probably should have impact tricked that. He easily could have. He said someone said that they got Zophia'd, but he could have easily impact tricked that. Or not impact, bandit tricked it, simply. Yeah, there could be someone on the windows, but from this game, it doesn't seem like anyone knows how to make a two-dimensional
Left side's
push.
up.
So,
Missed it. Ah, what the fuck? Okay, that's your top square. One's on main stairs,
Op 4 located a bomb. Protect
in
it.
stock.
Friendly, last.
and then Zofia killed you from behind. Yeah, she was to the right, is what I heard. There was someone else in here. They probably would have killed you anyway, because of, again, perspective. You were really close to the
Okay,
angle.
that was a quick one.
Sophia's banana.
Shit.
She wasn't banana. I don't even know how. I think we call it connector or double window. Yeah, we call it double window in my squad.
Guys, I had a
I
cam
mean, you got one.
Guys, I had a cam banana. How did nobody see that?
Yeah, that's another thing that you guys need to do is whoever dies, instantly get on cameras. Like there's no excuses for them to not be on cameras. But as we go back, you're blaming your
was a
team
quick
for
one.
something
Banana.
that they couldn't stop. Because if we look, that's barricaded and that's barricaded. So could our teammates have really stopped that? No. She probably just rushed through the breach that who was it that died? The castle died through to Thatcher on the opposite side. And again, they can just walk through, and just killed you guys both. Just walked in. And
Guys, I had a cam
I mean, you got
banana.
one.
Guys, I had a cam banana. How did nobody see that?
There's one in conference.
Alright, well, we have no idea how to hold that site. Let's get.
I think it was just a matter of a lot of really shitty things happening at once.
Can we try tellers though? Unless.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
don't wanna. Let's try tellers.
We
Yeah,
have a
there's-
strat here. Remember, we should plan this.
I agree with whoever made that call of trying a different site, because there's too much there to fix for you guys to actually fix it. I would recommend not going to the same site twice. If there's so much stuff fell apart. If there's just one thing, like you can pinpoint, okay, if we had done this, it would have been a totally different round. Then try it. If it doesn't work again, okay, do a different site. But you shouldn't. That would be a bad call to go there again because there's so much stuff that went wrong. So many people died without knowing where they died from, and you kind of put the blame a little bit on your teammates there for something that they could not have done. So think about that moving forward as well.
Did?
Yeah,
Bandit?
remember? Yes,
Valkyrie?
exactly. Bandit,
I'm taking
Valkyrie.
Oh, it was the
Mozzie.
mute.
Forgot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mute Mozzie and then.
Last one was
Not,
Maestro?
the last one was definitely not Doc.
No, I think it was just. I think the last one was just kind of like a whatever.
No, it was the Jaeger. It was
No,
Jaeger.
it was
We didn't
Jaeger,
know what
Jaeger,
it
yeah.
decided what it was.
Jaeger.
Oh,
It was
Jaeger,
definitely
yeah.
Jaeger. But,
So
yeah.
Not do it.
what I'm seeing at least is you guys actually have strats, but like one, you have strats, so that's great, but you have strats per site. I don't agree with that, because what happens if you win this and then because you're gonna have to possibly go here again, like some sites you're gonna have to go there again and again, like basement. You're probably gonna have to go there again, so they're gonna know exactly what you're going to do, so they can counter you. And then what do? Like you can't do anything about it. They know you can't hold upstairs, so then they know you're gonna go tellers. And if you win this, they're gonna know how you won it, and they're just gonna counter it. And it's just that countering back and forth that you have to adapt to. You should have more than just one strat per site. One strat per site is a good start, not gonna lie. Especially for something like Bank. Bank is very, very complicated to create a strat on. But you guys already have an idea of what you want to do, so let's see what you guys do. And you
The
have
way that I
operators
initially
to
said
specific
where we open
people.
up the bottom.
I would recommend steering clear of doing that. On attack, you're very good about this. Every single time he was Thermite. Every single time he was Thatcher. Every single time he was Maverick. Yeah, I want to say he was Maverick. And every single time you were Hibana. And you switched off to Sledge for 1 or 2 rounds. And then he switched off from Jackal to Ash to Twitch. Was it Twitch or was he Twitch? I can't remember. But the fraggers are basically staying as fragging operators, and you supports and heart breachers are staying as supports and heart breachers. And that's the same thing should be here. Bandit and Valkyrie are not vastly different playstyles, but fairly different playstyles. You should play the same operators per person. He's staying as the same one. He's doing a different one. He's staying still a support operator, so that's good. But thinking about that as well,
Let's just do it.
when you're making your strats, is who's
Alright,
playing
so
who.
Mute and Mozzie are playing upstairs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which, I mean,
And we need.
I should also point out, don't let that shroud the idea of, well, what happens if you know how to play, like, for instance, on this site, I can, well, on this side, I'm very more of a roamer, and I hate sitting on site for this one because I feel like everyone closes in on me. But if I do, I'm playing smoke. I don't care what anyone else says, I'm playing smoke on this site. If I'm not playing smoke on the site, I'm either playing Cav or Vigil or Jaeger going off site. Obviously not Cav if I was doing something like this. Fuck that. But you get the idea. Like, just because you're staying as one person, maybe one site you're like, hey, I prefer being this person for this site. Can I be this one? And then getting the person that's usually that operator off of them and seeing if they would rather do another one or if they're comfortable with it. But voice your opinion in that way and encourage other teammates to do that. Like, make sure everyone's comfortable with what they're doing before you just say you're doing this. Also, this is very recent because you have the Halloween
And
event.
Jaeger,
So.
you're playing on main. You're playing on main stairs here. We're opening up
You
this
use
wall.
yours in the site.
No, you uses all of his upstairs. Bandit
Where am I putting mine?
switching. He's supposed to be playing upstairs with you guys, and then Bandit's putting all of his stuff down
Yes.
here. I need one more reinforcement on this wall.
Activated device.
And this needs to be open. I don't.
Position device.
I know you got
Say,
one,
I'm
Callie.
not
I know
gonna
you
try
got
that
one.
yet.
10 seconds left.
You have a reinforcement.
5 seconds.
I know you've never reinforced in your entire life. Oh no, it got reinforced.
Bomb located by Op 4.
It's just a Jaeger main, it's okay. But no, like, that's again, that thing of, hey, coordinate, figuring out who's doing what, who's reinforcing what, and pushing forward from there. Also, who's going to destroy that wall? Mute could have just destroyed it in like 3 or 4 shotgun blasts and then just gone upstairs to do what he needs to do. Keeping that in mind. Or Mozzie with the secondary shotgun, same thing.
On the stairs then. It's supposed to be
It's
Jaeger.
supposed to be
Yeah,
Jaeger.
Jaeger, Value, just play right here.
Bottom
Jaeger.
main. Bottom main.
Yeah, play on there.
Just play like right here. I'm coming.
It's good that you guys, like, it seems like you're having trouble remembering where people are supposed to be. Some of them are, like, Value is. But it's, which this is good practice for. Like, I'm not going to say, like, oh, that's horrible. You guys should know, like, on the book, you should be on top of everything. Every single thing that you have discussed previously, you should know. When this, like, obviously you're not in Pro League or anything like that. This is just scrims. So keeping in mind where people are, and hopefully he learns from this and remembers this later
Trying to
on.
go do some extra.
One thing I don't like is you don't have a rotation into archives through tellers.
Okay, almost got wall banged.
Good idea to test recoil. Make sure that you know the gun that you're using. Make sure you don't control Valkyrie's recoil with Bandit's MP7.
Janitor.
And then remember what I said about getting on your cams right away. You can go into tellers and you can be very, very safe sitting in tellers because they have to go through all of main lobby to get to you, or they have to go through dirt tunnel and run up through archives. That's more rare to do, and it's more than likely only going to happen if they think that site is completely abandoned. So don't let them think that site is abandoned. But you could have gone on cam a lot sooner.
I can come on. You hit her with the nitro.
And I don't think that he actually did hit her because she didn't scream at all. But you should be cycling through camps. Call out where she is, cycle through, figure out where everyone else is.
Yep.
There you go, we're cycling now.
Zofia and IQ both top hall, and Thermite, all top square.
That's awesome.
They're pushing
So now we know that they have a Thatcher as well. So we know everyone that they have, and they're all top square.
upstairs hard.
So
I'm
we should do like what you're doing.
Just don't do it. Just we're holding site.
Ooh.
Oh my god, that nitro was literally on.
I would have waited on that and coordinated it better with your team. That's one of those, you could have sat right to the side here and just waited for them to call when he's starting to thermite charge, or just ping it, basically. Just do the Macy J strat. Ping it and tell someone to watch the camera, ping the location and say, tell me when someone's on that ping. And then you just throw the C4 and then you're free kill. Like, that's all that is.
One on janitor on us. Yeah, janitor door. It's IQ, and one is watching top square.
Value, why are you over there, dude?
Oh, God damn it, they
Value.
rushed me. I got rushed.
There's no one there.
Thermite pushing
She
in.
did tips.
Thermite.
One
Oh, you
on
gotta
the
TK.
stairs, dude. Fucking go where you're supposed to be.
A bomb has been located by.
Yeah, that's on. I will say that death is going to be on Jaeger partly because he never told them that he was leaving where he was supposed to be. He should notify him, hey, by the way, I'm not holding main stairs anymore. If you're supposed to hold a specific point, your teammates are relying on you to hold that point. So if you leave, tell them you left.
By Op 4.
Yeah,
And from what it seems like, you could have benefited from having you upstairs, bandit tricking that wall, and then having oh my gosh, and then having mute downstairs denying information.
needed to stay on main.
Top square. He's in up top.
Not
He's
yet,
on
'cause we
Teller's
haven't
door.
tried it.
Never mind. 90 upstairs. Going into Tellers. He's in Tellers. On the door. South door. On south door. He's peeking. Mailing. He's still there. Ran to the other door. Good job. Dead.
Thermite's bottom
One
square.
on main stairs. Main stairs. Yep.
Reloading mag.
I'm gonna waste Thermite's time.
By elevators, he's watching me.
Had your laser and aim it at the
Watching
left.
Tellers.
Yeah.
Oh, he went
Aim
lobby,
right there.
lobby?
Yeah.
North door of Tellers. North door of Tellers.
I will say these are great callouts coming from your team now. There's a lot of heat there in the moment, but you all calm down and now you're just giving callouts. Especially I like the laser callout, telling him, hey, make sure you know that you have a laser and know where it is.
Didn't tell her.
Top blue.
Do you have diffuser?
He could, don't.
They're both over.
Eh,
They're both over here.
Go
They both
upstairs,
rotated.
Value.
No, he did not rotate. He was still over there. You're just being way too aggressive with that. That's what I would say.
Unless you have diffuser, go. They're in sight now. They have diffuser and they're gonna plant.
Bomb diffuser in place.
They were already planting.
Like, Value, you need to be helping people. You can't just sit
He didn't
somewhere.
know the strat. First of all,
Well, we
Second,
told him
I
to hold
asked, I was
bottom
like, "Are we sure we want to run this beforehand?"
First of all, it's
like-
not the strat. That's the issue.
It's kind of the strat. See, this is the hard part. Like, this is that people are getting heated and people are getting angry at one another. You have to focus on not doing that. You can't focus on blaming him. If he didn't know the strat, he didn't know the strat. Like, yeah, you say, hey, hold this, but that doesn't tell anyone anything. If someone told me, hey, sit here and hold this door and don't do anything else, me as an experienced player that knows what they're doing and knows everyone's role in the game, I'm sitting there like, okay, I know, like, I have to hold this, but the second that my team needs me, I'm probably gonna abandon it and do something else, because I can't sit there and wait for something to happen, because the second that it's a 1v5, now I'm sitting there holding the same thing over and over again, and that's just from past experiences. He probably thought, I could probably do something about this. Everything that's happening right now, I can do something about it. And guess what? He actually did do something about it. He brought this down to a fucking 1v2. Or it was a 2v2, basically. I think he actually got all the kills. We can go back and look just to see what happened. He didn't know the strat, but he knew what he was doing. Back farther. Okay. That's one
Oh my
person
god, that nitro
dead.
was lit- Zofia and IQ both top alt, then Thermite, all top square.
He killed someone at main stairs. So you know what he's thinking? I just killed someone main stairs. They know I'm main stairs. I have to move because they know where I am.
They're pushing up.
I'm a roamer, and they know where I am.
Just don't do man. You're holding sight, man.
Yeah, see? Moving through
Oh my god, that
server.
nitro was literally on us.
1 second. Oh my gosh, almost. Second time I've almost sneezed.
One on janitor on us. Yeah, janitor door. It's IQ.
And this is the point where we should verify what he's doing. Like, he should have said what he was doing too. Don't get me wrong, but you have, like I said, think of it from his perspective. He just killed someone on main stairs, or by garage or whatever. They know he's playing there. He needs to move. He needs to do something, or else he's gonna die. He needs to waste their time.
And one is watching top square.
Value, why are you over there, dude?
Oh, God damn it! They
Value.
rushed me. I got rushed.
And that kill wasn't his fault. That was upstairs.
They're my
She did tips.
One
Oh, you
on
gotta-
main
you
stairs.
Thermite killed someone, or wait, where was Zofia backing up?
Why are you over there, dude?
Oh, God damn it! They
Value.
rushed me.
That's
Yeah, Zophia's in there, yeah. So Zophia's upstairs.
I'm rotating.
Just don't.
She's probably over
You're
by,
holding sight, man.
what is it? Consulting? That's what it is? I just call it B site.
Oh my god, that nitro was literally on
It's
us.
just B.
One on janitor on us. Yeah, janitor door. It's IQ, and one is watching top square.
Value, why are you over there, dude?
Oh, God damn
And
it!
he
They rushed
dies over by
me. I got
elevator.
rushed. I got rushed.
There's no one there.
How did he get through again? Well, I don't know what that mute was doing.
She did tips.
One
Oh, you
on
gotta-
main
you
stairs.
He
dude,
dies.
fuck.
And then he says, hey, someone's on main stairs. So I'm assuming that she was on cameras and died, or was rotating through and died to do to
Go where you're
that.
supposed to be.
A bomb has been located by Op 4.
Yeah, you needed to stay on main.
Top square.
But I mean, honest to God, hand on heart, I don't think that he entirely misplayed that. Looking back at this, he did what he thought was right. His problem was that he didn't tell you guys about it. If he had told you guys about it, it would have been a lot better, because then Valkyrie would have gone off of her cam and she would have watched that. But, like, it's not a horrible play. I don't think that it's
Top
entirely
on
his
Teller's
fault.
door, never mind. 90 upstairs.
And then he gets another kill. So all of the kills that have come through, besides the team kill, have been him. Like, he's doing his job of wasting time. And if we go forward here farther...
There's no rotate.
One pro.
Oh, wait, I went too far.
First of all, it's
Like-
not the strat.
Here we
That's
go.
the issue.
Well, yeah, I know.
There's no rotate.
One pro.
Good call, telling him that there's no rotate. I would recommend also to wait until you're done with the round before you start saying all that stuff, because now you're saying, hey, it's not the strat, you fucked up. That puts a lot of pressure on him. If I were him, I'd be sitting there shitting myself like, oh my god, we just lost the round because of me. Like, all because of me.
One thing.
When it wasn't. It honestly wasn't.
He's right behind that box. If you want to pre-fire head level, you
He could have done more,
Ran out to
but it
lobby.
wasn't entirely his fault.
Good try.
All friendlies.
My bad.
It was a very, it's just very time consuming properly.
We just need to strat so that
Here.
we need to practice. So that
Yeah,
can
we need to.
get-
Yeah, this is exactly right. Like, this is just showing me that you guys need to practice more. That's exactly what it
Practice,
is.
like,
Hold on, can we replace someone? We need someone with impact so we don't time consume over those rotates like downstairs and upstairs.
let's get downstairs.
Learn how to make a rotate with the shotgun. You can make a rotate in 4 shotgun shots. Yeah, Mozzie, it's more difficult because you have the fucking 3 excuse me, 3 fucking ammo, 3 mag shotgun. So that sucks. But 4 shots should be done, plain and simple. Also, almost always make a rotation hole, either one that you have to vault through or one you have to crouch through, because rotation should just be for you getting the fuck out of there. And if the attackers start using it, you don't want them to run through it and pre-fire you. You want to be able to shoot them while they're vulnerable, not for them to shoot you and have the advantage all of the time. Keep that in mind when you're making rotation holes. I would relay that information to your team.
And then we'll figure out the last
Yeah, we can do that later, yeah.
upstairs or Teller's site.
I'm not gonna get killed right now because I'm gonna reinforce server.
And see, now you don't know what are you going to reinforce, because he's going to reinforce server. So what are you going to do? I'm curious to see what you're going to do or what you're going to say.
Maybe a good idea.
I think 6 pick the
Yeah.
bandit, right?
You'll
Yeah,
We're
six
playing
pick
server.
that bandit. We don't need it. We're playing downstairs.
bring Vigil again.
I mean, you could use bandit for the C4, because right now you only have 4 C4s technically. The other one wouldn't be bad. This delays them for 30 seconds. It gives them a chance to not die. Whereas him can just outright kill someone that's trying to plant.
Alright.
This is very
Blue
aggressive.
Vigil.
Also
You have
tell
to
someone
hold
to
the change
switch
off
to
the
battery.
Vigil
There's
under
no
control.
Vigil, 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 Vigil,
Blue,
Vigil. Yes,
Vigil.
yes, you gotta hold it. You gotta hold it.
Blue.
Okay.
It's too late.
Boy.
He's never 6-picked
I
before.
know.
Oh,
He's new to it,
goodness.
guys. It's okay.
Still play up.
Yeah, he's new to it. He hasn't 6-picked before, so that's not a problem whatsoever. So now you should adjust how he's going to play. He shouldn't roam. He should be downstairs with you. Here, I can actually show you
Protected.
once we get through all
We're
this.
gonna reinforce the site this time.
Be advised.
One thing, actually, that pros did for a hot minute there. Because people weren't bringing soft destruction for a basement attack, because you don't really need a soft destructor. Everything's hard destruction that you destroy down here. What some teams were doing was they were basically breaking this wall, but leaving the studs in, so that you couldn't place a thermite charge and you couldn't shoot it out with a gun. You had to use a shotgun to shoot it out. So some teams were left with having to use a jackal before this most recent update that made breaking walls easier, having him shotgun like a little section down here and spending like 30 seconds breaking open this wall. I wouldn't recommend doing that anymore. That's because most people will just bring a soft destructor anyway, like an ash or anything, basically. Like a sludge or a buff.
Be advised. Bomb location has been compromised.
Yeah, like, see, like, you don't know where you're reinforcing. You don't know where you're going. Like, remember what I said? Like, this makes or break a coordinated team. Like this tells you if you're coordinated or not. You guys are not coordinated because you're not reinforcing where you where you predetermined you need to reinforce. No one's got an elevator of main lobby hatches.
Blue, why are you not upstairs?
We're wondering why the bandit isn't upstairs, but he should be downstairs. That barbed wire might be better off on the table, because then it stops someone from jumping over, and if you walk through it, even if it's hitting your chest, it still slows you down.
10 seconds.
They really missed
Down to
that.
5 seconds.
They're gonna push garage, I think.
So then I would tell the Kaid, if he's going to sit in garage, hey, I have an ADS past that wall, just to let you know. Also, bandit, well, Kaid should have opened this up. Smoke should have opened it up. One of the two with the shotguns basically should have opened this up, so you could see C4. And bandit, if you sit, like if this is a little man, he's sitting there. He's got his little C4 sitting right here. What you'll see pro teams do every now and then is he'll have someone prone right here with a C4, just like already ripped. The Velcro strap is ripped, and they're just waiting for the call from like a pulse that's sitting in here, in gold, like what you were doing. Or there's a Maestro or a Valk cam or something sitting over here that tells them when to throw it. That way they don't get the sound cue of the C4 rip. So, and you get protected from the deaths that's in here. Like they just can't shoot you. Unless they have a nade, they can't shoot you, but you have a Jaeger, which is you, and you put your ADSs in there, so then they can't nade you. Oh my goodness. And if they nade you, well then they have to decide, okay, do we kill the person with the C4, or do we kill the thing that's telling them that we're planting? And we make them guess if we're planting or not, you know? And they're going to see, oh hey, they're going to see that we're trying to nade him, and they're just going to move out of the way anyway. So it's a lot of playing back and forth with this, but for the most part, he could just sit there with the C4, ready to throw it. Now he gets utility, and he gets value out of his pick, when it wasn't meant to be.
But I'm gonna barricade.
Okay.
So now if he dies, then it's kind of worthless. Also, I saw you doing it.
Okay.
I'm just going to say this now. If you do the thing with trying to run while ADSing really fast, and it doesn't make sound on your end, but it makes sound client or server side. Client side, no sound. Server side, sound. They fixed that like no burnt horizon, I want to say. I was almost said Ember Rise, but that's the operation we're in right now.
I got your shotgun holder.
Oh, and we got our rotations in finally. I don't know what we're doing. Hey, look at that. Lobby hatches and got. Elevator hatches and got.
They are going garage. They just got garage cam.
So, whoever is the Kaid, he's sitting there watching cameras, so he's making sure, figuring out, okay, where are they coming from? What are they gonna do?
Oh, they're not all garage. Holy
I didn't
shit.
say all of them. I said they're going garage. Excuse you?
I know, but I was just
Where's
walking
Scuzz? Where's
around
Scuzz? I
in
didn't call
kitchen
it.
and I got fucking boinked.
Call-
Remember when I said earlier that if they know what you're doing and they have a sneaky suspicion of how you're going to play, they're just going to counter you? That's what they're doing right now. They knew the Legion was upstairs before and he was roaming, so instead of just all going through server tunnel and just spilling out from there and expanding out from there, they're going to take open area and they're going to go somewhere else. They're going to go garage and they're going to try and figure out a way to get into site a different way.
One's top square right now.
Open.
That's a good angle. I would have
didn't
kept
waste time.
that.
I didn't expect
Someone just prepped the angle for you.
Kitchen and I got fucking boinked
Call,
by glass.
call.
He's in kitchen, and then one's about to rush into fucking...
One's top square right now.
So this angle right here, if you go behind it, you can either stand or you can crouch. It doesn't really matter. But you can basically see whoever's on the stairs behind you here before they can see you. And they can't, like, they have to basically shoot you through the soft wall to kill you because they can't see your head. You can see their body, but they can't see your body because you have this wall covering you. And if you do it right, it doesn't look like the wall has been broken at all from their angle. So I would probably take that angle if you're going to plan on holding main stairs. If not, then let's see what you
Open.
do. Do you even
Fight
call
them,
out
waste
that
time.
Glass was
I
on
didn't
main stairs?
expect that.
Or metal detector? Or open area door?
Well, I put a lesion
Anything?
over there, but
Nothing? So, we don't know.
there's reasons why I didn't go.
And this is where we're going to hold it. Like, again, we could just hold it back farther. It'd be a lot safer
Yep, Sophia
and easier.
garage.
And a lot less risque.
Nice. That's the carry.
Yeah, she was.
Don't peek it, Doug.
She's close left.
Tell me
It's
if you want to
Ash
spray.
and Sophia,
Tell me if you
or
want to spray
just
through it.
Action.
Well, Jaeger.
What you should have done, what I would have recommended, was blowing this door open. The smoke probably shouldn't have peaked. I think that they were throwing a smoke canister so that they could, it just basically stalled them out for a little bit longer. If anything, they should have thrown the smoke canister to stall them out, and then you shot open the door as that happened, because they're not going to be hugging the door when that happens. But you basically just shoot that out to let them know that you're there, and that's just one more crossfire. You just have to hold the crossfire at that point. Which is a pretty crappy crossfire because you don't have anyone in CC to hold it, and you can't. The only other person was in B in lockers. So it's hard, but at the very least, you're stopping them from just outright killing them, and you relieve the pressure a little bit on their end.
Jaeger, fall back. Watch.
Ash is
Oh, rushing you, Cass.
Found a bomb. You must defend it.
One's in red, one's in red. They have control
There's
of
another
that.
one top me, top me.
Yeah.
Insight in
And there's
B
no way
and
for you to
A.
leave.
See, if we were
Planting
You
on
can
B.
drop.
if we were in sight back there, we could have stopped, or we could have refragged off of our Kaid immediately from the Ash trying to kill him, and then we could have killed the thermite on stairs easily, super easily, but we didn't. So,
Drop. You can
Just
drop
play
and
out
try
our
to
part.
stop the plant, but that's about all you can do.
or I should say, your part, not our part.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is
Impulse, where
communism
were
now.
you?
I was holding main.
What he was doing wasn't wrong. It was the fact that fucking there was a lot of other factors to why that was.
Yeah, I mean, he's right. Like,
But
it was, you were holding main, but you could have held it better. He is defending you and how you're doing it. Like, you were still holding it, which is good, but you could have been better about it. So consider that.
when I say that I'm being pushed from something and they're like they already got a kill.
I
On one of
I
us on
called
site.
it and he pushed back instantly. It's
Yeah.
just she's a 3-speed and she went and darted right across. You don't have a lot.
Yeah, I mean, he's right on that. Like, you guys called it, you figured it out, and then it just went through. I would not recommend holding here again. They figured you out, and they're just gonna keep doing that.
A lot of time to like.
And if you don't have a
get the
counter
shots
strat
off.
for this, or a
Should
different
have
strat,
this
then you're not
basement
gonna
defense, like,
do
laid
anything
down.
about this.
I know that was should have been easy, but
And you just told them, you're playing in the exact same place.
Blue, I'm gonna need you up here. Quick.
Because both of the other sites, you didn't run a smoke, you didn't run a visual, you didn't run a Cade. So if you're gonna 6-pick, it's gonna be a weird 6-pick. So you're basically telling them, hands down, this is where you're playing. So think about that. Like,
Quicker.
people will read into this as you're playing. They will look at what you're picking. I know I definitely would if I was on the other team. Just like, hey, they're playing these operators again. This is what they're doing. On attack, it's different. You can give them like how aggressive they're going to be from their attack lineup. Having the Ashe and the Zofia means that they're probably going to be a little more aggressive because they only have one hard breacher. They have to play more aggressive. And they also have the IQ so they can deny information. So playing Pulse is a little bit more sketchy. But you just told them exactly where you're going to play.
Because
Yeah, sure.
part of the reason that dude was able to just sneak in is because I didn't put a Legion over there.
I was up there with you when he pushed you.
Yeah, I know. But like, I had to do all the
Secure the
barricades
bomb.
myself. It wastes like 10 seconds.
You're so indecisive too about what you're going to do, where you're going to place things.
Located a bomb.
I would put that farther down. This is going to be a nitpicky thing again. Put it farther down because then they can't destroy it without leaving cover right here. So that means if they're pushing up, they have to push through the barbed wire on the ramp so you hear it, so you know where they're pushing and you can pre-fire them. But if they don't push up to the ramp and you hear them pushing up somewhere else, well, now you limit to where they can push. Unless they destroy it with an Asher or a Zofia charge, you know where they're going to push. So use that to your advantage. Use the information as to where you put your gadget. Putting it here, they can push almost to the door, and then they don't have to worry about anything. Like, you can walk over this without having to vault, and now all of a sudden that barbed wire is worthless. Like, they can surprise someone. Someone could die because there's no information to that.
Getting it.
Down to 10.
Good on you to remember where that drone hole is. Someone's probably there. I don't know why they spotted you.
Stay clear of ABS line of fire.
Bomb located by Op 4.
We have both of our reinforcements already. I would say, think about where they came from last time and how they used their utility. Good job on putting it there. But main lobby hatch and elevator hatch are still open. They can still flank us from there. Dedicated person on cams for this is you, by the way. You should have already, like, there's multiple ways that you could have been done setting up already. You probably shouldn't have been the one reinforcing the hatches. That should have been Legion and Vigil, gosh. And then you're setting up site, reinforcing on site. He's setting up site and reinforcing and getting his electroclaws on. And then Smoke is, well, actually, he should have been reinforcing hatches as well because you need another one for server hatch way over there. But these three reinforcing, he's setting up, he's still setting up, as we could see. You should be done, and then you can get on cams and tell them where everything is.
They're droning you, right?
See how now they're putting an emphasis on open area and pushing this roamer out?
Server.
Good
Zoff's
pick.
dead.
They're getting wall.
That's like you.
Alright, just don't peek it. Don't waste the smoke. Okay, we have 2
Ashton
minutes.
kitchen.
That's Ash.
Good fix.
I'm coming back down. I don't need to be up here anymore.
Yeah,
He's in.
Thermite hatch.
both of you should be back already. Like,
Wait,
the
where were
second that...
What? Wait,
Where's
hatch?
our-
No.
Server.
Stop this. What, like, look at this. This is what I don't understand. Like, this happens, like, even in ranked play, you'd think that people would have a brain like this, but I guess it's North America ranked, so, you know. You have a 4-person team, they have a 2-person. You can have 2 people per entrance in the site for main entrances, unless they go through garage, I guess. But you can basically watch every single angle of sight, and they have a minute and a half to do something. That's ages to do something, but it's not that much time. It does sound like they have at least a Thatcher or a Sledge, more than likely a Thatcher, and then they probably have a Thermite, so they have the utility to do something with sight, so just wait for them. Like, they can't sit there forever, they can't do nothing forever. You have 4 people to expend, they only have 2.
Me, Cass, don't shoot.
So this right here, if you die, is totally wasted.
He's close on kitchen.
Yeah. I just realized you have the...
Alright, just
Please
wait.
headshot me
Yeah,
headgear.
Legion, hold that, yep. And smoke, don't move.
Yeah,
Well,
that was
where is
completely
their right?
wasted. They probably had a drone on you too, and he was sitting there waiting for you, as you could obviously see. They probably had a drone and were waiting for you. Yeah, granted, your teammates probably could have called out, hey, he's watching you, but I don't think that they actually could because of this pillar right here, sitting in front of the camera. I don't think that they could have seen that.
He's
They
on
could have,
server
for all they know, been on drone. He could have been on, but you just made this much more favorable for them. Hugely
hatch
favorable
right
for them.
now. He's just holding server hatch. That's him.
Every ounce of life at this point is worth it to them.
They're not coming. What's it called? Garage yet.
They're going around.
Especially since both of their weapons are
Someone's
high
going around.
damage
They're
weapons.
running.
I've been spotted. They droned me. They ran it into a wall.
So one's above Kai right now in open area.
They're not there yet. I can call it out. I'm on the cam.
I could watch it. Yeah.
Now, this is good from him because what's gonna kill him right there? Like, how are they gonna kill him? They have to rush into sight to kill him. So him being on his drone or on his cams right there is really good. He shouldn't like get off of it. But granted, you should be on cams as well because you're dead. He's not. In this situation, specifically, if it was a 5v2, he could be on cams right here in this position, or someone could be in gold vault and be on cams. But in this very specific situation, these three should not be on their cams at any single point in this round. The only time that they should be is if they need very, very specific callouts and you guys don't know how to call it out. That's when they would want to get on there. Otherwise, they should not be on it. You have 2 people to expend and more than enough cameras for 2 people.
EMP. They're going for hatches. Going for hatches.
I can watch the cam if they got an EMP.
Going for this one. This one. I smoke. Stay here. I'm gonna go.
Like, I don't know why we aren't watching cams right now. I wouldn't say we're being entirely useless to our team, but we're being pretty damn close right now. Like, we're as useless as an actual dead person right now.
I've
Or
got
as
drop.
useful.
You can watch the
Yeah,
server
just
plant,
don't watch drop. Don't watch drop. Just hold plant.
Yep, he's going down those stairs, Thatcher. Not yet. Pushing down.
They're inside. Dead.
Down, diffuser down, diffuser down.
Last operator standing.
Good job, guys.
Op 4 eliminated.
You won,
We're on
but
next one.
again, you should still be watching cams. No reason to not.
I didn't even know that he was inside, bro.
Did you run? I must have ran through the smoke.
I guess. I don't.
Like,
I didn't hear him either. He just
I didn't
peeked
hear that
me.
either.
Ooh. Okay. Let's try upstairs again. We should be able to take this. If we don't, I don't know. If we want to just play like.
Play but pass it.
I'm
Play
gonna
but
go
pass it.
and just like barricade everything.
I don't think smokes.
When you guys are doing, well, I guess I'm gonna find out. It looks like it's probably gonna be overtime. I was gonna say, do you guys just stop it
You
at
don't
overtime
smoke. It's
because
pretty much-
that's how Pro League runs it,
I'm
or what do
picking
you do?
knock because I need an
Yeah,
ACOG
that's fine,
for this
okay.
angle.
Apparently, you guys
Kelly,
do
if you want to
overtime.
go bandit, that's fine. Mute's
No,
fine
I
as
think
well.
Kate's better for this stuff, so.
Okay. Doesn't matter as long as you.
Also, quick question: the one person that has never 6-pick before, why are you having him 6-pick? Like, thinking about that while you're playing as well, making sure that everyone again is on the same page.
Go anti-breach.
If they do the exact same
Also,
thing,
before he continues, he's saying if they do the exact same thing, but hit space. Know what your team is carrying. Is like you're gonna have a C4, so that's expected. Make sure he has impacts. Make sure he has barb or bulletproof cam. Make sure that you guys know what you're gonna do with a bulletproof cam if you have it. It shouldn't just be something that you just have, you know, like barbed wire. It's just kind of brain dead. You place it down, you forget about it. Bulletproof cam should have a purpose. Does he have a bulletproof cam or barbed wire? And does he have impacts or C4? For this specific site, impacts would probably be better so that he can impact trick. So hitting space, verifying everyone has what they should have.
fucking boink that Thatcher. This time. 'Cause I'll be
Secure
There's
the
been
area.
many a times, many of rounds lost in my squad because someone was memeing earlier and they had a shield on Mira, and I can lose rounds very easily.
I can make the rotate. I just need value. Can you make holes for the impact trick? I've got rotate. I've got rotate.
Good that you're looking for cameras to make sure that no one saw you place it there. Not a good camera if they see you do it. In main lobby, it doesn't really make a difference too much
I don't want to use my impact.
because it's me personally, I can't spot that as it's going across the fucking room. Also, you should have gotten
Op
that.
4 has found a bomb. Down to 5 seconds.
Job on that. If you're able to, try and figure out the angle. I haven't done this in so long, but you have to be on the stairs I know that, or you have to be directly below it. I can't remember, but you are able to get it in here. I'm trying to remember if this is before or after they buffed her throwing potential, because throwing potential you could throw it anywhere you wanted, obviously, but with the new, I think in this patch, they nerfed her the arcing moment that she makes. She can't throw it as far. It's like maybe a meter or two difference. It's not much at all. Like you can hardly notice it, but they did nerf it. So I don't know if you can still get it up there, but
Get ready to
get back to me on that if you watch all of this. And there's that team
I
kill.
did the same thing that we did.
Probably.
Alright, is everybody inside that wants to be inside?
I would be more meticulous about how you plant that,
Alright,
because
everybody clear off except
if
for,
they have an IQ, if they don't even need an IQ actually to see that. That's like even easier to see.
Okay, if you
Come on,
can make
Thatcher,
the
do it
rotate.
again.
Yeah, see, there it goes. And someone got promoted to Doc, I see.
There's somewhere over here, I don't know. I think they're at...
Oh, IQ. Got me. Fuck. IQ's half, Sophia's lit, Thatcher's lit. There's 3 of them lit.
All EMP's gone.
That's a good call that all of the EMPs are gone.
Janitor.
Oh, you actually got
So
it.
much for-
Should have been the what's his face, either the Kaid or the Castle. Both of them should have been there, ready to do it. You should have been doing your own thing, because again, C4 is a little too much to waste on something like that, in my opinion. So making sure that you guys know how to do that, like you should just know, like that's. It took me 1 round to teach my friend how to do it, and now I just say, hey, impact trick this, and he just does it. Like it's super simple to learn. Just know when to do it. Like that's the only hard part about it. Never do it unless it's actually actively firing off.
Was that both of them?
Sophia,
Yeah, I think so.
janitor.
Sophia's janitor.
Sounds like you guys got both of them, which is good.
Last 2 are hauling, or last there's 2 hauling.
And we're holding this
Bananas,
way
we're
too
good.
close, and we're just above head height for that.
In janitor. On the wall. You downed him, I downed him. I downed 1. It's only a... That's 90 dead? No, he's not. He's still lit on 90. Oh, he's in conference.
One friendly operator remaining.
Coming long desk right now.
Yeah.
Wait. Is that I'm pretty sure that's a meeting, not conference. I think what you're in is conference. Oh no, it's executive lounge. I call it meeting. Oh well.
That's 90 dead? No, he's not. He's still lit on 90. Oh, he's in conference.
In lounge.
One friendly operator remaining.
Coming long desk right now.
Yeah, with Thatcher.
One.
And then long desk as well. Like there's 2 different calls for the same room. 3 different if you count mine, I guess. Don't count mine. Verify with everyone what it is. When the new cafe came out, everyone and their mother is confused right now, because you have, this is the new balconies, basically, like this, because this is new hatch here, and this is just a new balcony with a door sitting right there. It's a horrible door. But I've made sure my team knew this is new drop. Below this is below new drop. This is heaven. Below this is hell. Now we know this. And I made sure everyone on the team was square on this. And now we don't get it wrong. This is what you need to do with your team.
We get to play 2 more games. Wonderful. I don't want to do this anymore. I can't believe I didn't kill 2 of them. Dude, I downed 1, and then the fucking thermite was 1 HP. That's so sad. Okay. Right.
Oh, and there is overtime.
I think it's too obvious if we go downstairs.
I
And
mean,
we can clearly beat them on any site.
Do you want to try upstairs again and just... I don't know.
We can try it again. It was close.
I will say, this does not bode well for you guys that you started on defense first, because you crushed on attack pretty damn well. You entered the halftime was it 5-1 or was it 4-2? It was one of the two. Either way, it was pretty decisively in your favor. So you should have won your defenses. This is bank. You should just win your defenses. But now we're starting to tread into that. I don't know if we're gonna get this.
I mean, it was close at the start. I don't know what the hell happened at the end.
And it looks like this is gonna go through the full length of the game.
What happened at the end is I downed somebody in janitor, missed my shot on 90, and then we got killed by the fucking Sophia.
Yeah, I missed my shot too.
That's good that he's recognizing what he did wrong, and that's just something that you can't really fix. You could have, if you had saved your C4, if the castle and the Kaid actually landed their impact tricks, you guys could have, or you could have thrown your C4 into janitor and possibly killed the person that he downed. Kai could have impacted the wall and killed the person that he downed, or open up a new way to look into it and kill them easier. Again, there's only 2 thermite charges and there's only 2 impact grenades that you can use, so make sure that you use them wisely.
Because Sophia picked up the thermite, the Thatcher, I mean. She picked up the Thatcher.
It is good though that you're
Sophia,
bringing Mozzie to try and throw them off a little bit, but you still have the castle.
If I had like any other gun, we would have won that round.
I'm telling you guys start running that gun with.
I just realized I'm the high school teacher. I'm sorry.
What? UMP?
That gun with a reflex has no recoil. You can just fucking spam fire that shit.
UMP?
I see what you're trying to do. I don't think that'll work.
UMP?
That works though.
No.
But they probably saw you put it there.
No.
Be advised, bomb
I was talking
location
about
has been
the
compromised. 10 seconds to insertion. Down to 5 seconds.
The ump's just like, you can't do anything about
Ump is just. Yes.
Okay, so
Bomb located.
this is the point where you have to tell yourself, or ask yourself, what have they been doing? They have not pushed from main lobby once this entire game. The entire attacking round for them, not one person has set foot in main lobby except for Ash at the very first attacking round. Every other time, they've pushed through open area and through servers, or through square stairs, I should say, and stocks. They on one side of the map, the east side of the map. They have pushed from there every single time. So you have to start asking yourself, is it really worth me putting my Valcam in the lobby just because the strat says that I need to? This is the point where an IGL can't really make the call for you. You can't really say, like, he can't micromanage you in this way and say, no, put it here or here, or no, put it there. This is what the strat calls for. You have to make the conscious decision. They aren't pushing here. This has been a useless cam for me every single time that we've gone here. So I'm going to put it somewhere else. Maybe if you put it in hallway, like here, let me back it up a little bit.
I was talking about the.
Maybe if you put it all the way over in this corner right here. Or you could have put it, gosh, I'm trying to think. You could have put it in meeting, because it seems like you guys are lacking information in there, or by the breach, figuring out where it is in the breach, that you need to put it. But keeping it in main lobby is wasting utility at this point. Like, straight up, you are wasting your utility.
Compromised. 10 seconds to insertion. Down to 5 seconds.
The ump's just like, you can't do anything about
Ump is just. Yes.
Bomb located by Op 4.
That was not a horrible throw, but not the
it.
best.
One peek then. That would have been a good
And you
idea.
still have both your reinforcements. You've had both of them both times. Like, use them, like, this is one of those sites too where you don't have to use, excuse me, where you don't have to use all your reinforcements to make it, oh my gosh, an effective hold. But you're not even wondering where you could put them. I don't know if you guys have this in the strat book or whatever, that, okay, whoever plays Valkyrie, you don't have to reinforce everything. Just focus on your cameras. But there is places that you can reinforce still. Like, here, if we can get back to it.
Someone repelled up.
Once you get off your phone, you're probably going to look at it.
It's Thatcher.
You could reinforce this wall right here, just so it's harder for them to push in. Basically, you could reinforce this wall so that's harder for them to push in. But that's also wasting resources on lobby, which I just said, hey, they're not pushing from lobby. But if you reinforce right here, that gives you more cover if you decide to go into office or in banana desk. There you go. Then you can actually sit in there and you can blow the castle barricade, get in there, and now you can cover from a different angle. So let's continue here.
Oh, I just killed one of your fucking
Oh,
I'm
son
gonna
of
be
a bitch.
surprised that Thatcher does not try and
Thatcher's
yeah.
wrong.
Like this is the thing that I don't understand why people don't do it. Like this is very simple stuff basically. If he simply repels over there, breaks open these windows right here, simply him existing there stops the castle from being able to trick. Like that's it. Like I don't know how else to say that. Or they could bring Hibana, blow open the bottom part of the wall since they're having so much trouble getting this open, blow the bottom part of the wall, and then try and thermite it. Like there's so much that they can do that they just aren't doing. And
Oh,
you
son
guys
of
as
a bitch.
well were suffering with this a little bit. They just could
Thatcher's
not
probably
trick it.
like here.
That's a Bana?
Alright, just play passive now. Oh, not.
God damn it! I got pushed.
Thatcher's top square.
It also seems like, I will say this now, you're focusing too much on your gadget as an information op. Scroll through other cameras on the map because it's highly unlikely, but they might still have Square Stair Skylight open. You could get maybe a little bit more information as to who else is on the team. Granted, it's probably going to be, what was it? We know that IQ, we see Thatcher, probably a Zofia, and then a Thermite is left. We probably know what's going to happen,
I have a
but
cam. Can you watch that,
it's
please?
good to verify.
Tell me when they're putting a charge. Tell me when they're putting a charge on the south wall.
Ash is right. Ash is right on that hole that she made.
Oh, I can't.
Oh, and then Dash, that was Zofia.
Ash is long death, she's in long death.
I missed
So
her.
we know
She's
that
in
we have to
long
call
death.
for long death. Remember when I was talking about don't waste your C4 because it's not worth it? You
Ash is
almost
long
killed
death,
your
long death,
teammate
she's
there.
in long death.
I missed her. She's
In
lit.
long death still. In long death. Back to
Yeah,
got
like,
it.
oh no. You made him go from being able to take possibly 2 gunfights that he can take 1 gunfight and then he's probably dead. I know what you were trying to do. You were trying to kill whoever was trying to place a thermite charge, or basically kill thermite. But you shouldn't do that. At that point, you should just be below and just again tell me when someone's on this ping. Hey, they're there. Okay,
Ash is
detonate.
right here. Thermite's going for the right side wall.
Like yeah,
Thermite's going right side wall.
they're probably gonna try and roam clear you to get you out of there. But 1, you waste time doing that, and 2, you could get more value out of your C4 than what you did there. You got negative value from your C4 with that. You actually took away life from your teammate.
Ash is down. You can find her wall, just kill her.
Boy from. IQ's in Jenner. IQ's in Jenner.
You need to focus on what you're doing. The call that Ash was down, no one could secure it. Honest to God, no one could. And at that point, you shouldn't try to secure it. Every single one of you, including you, can kill her in 1 hit at that point. It takes 1 bullet from every gun on this defense to kill her, and she's dead. From any gun. Doesn't matter. So you should not waste your time to try and secure that. Because she's going to die herself. And she has enough cover from her teammates to get that pick back up. You should just continue watching this hole. Or watching over there. You basically need to figure out what you're doing and do it. And now we're dead. So we should be watching cameras.
Getting picked up.
She's getting picked up. Ash is getting picked up. She got picked up.
0 value.
Yeah, see? Like, if she had actually seen him walking across there, he could have died because everyone was trying to yell at him, hey, secure the kill, secure the kill, secure the kill. Like, very easily that could have gone south.
In the hallway.
Nice.
Last one's square.
Last one's top.
Don't peek
Yeah,
anything. Just don't peek.
top
Top
stairs.
square, yeah.
Don't peek. We have intel. Stop pinging.
Yeah, I was gonna say, whoever's pinging that needs to stop.
We have all the intel. We win this round.
Because now he knows that you guys know where he is.
He's behind the bush.
He's waiting for a peek. He has a minute to just chill out. He's gonna start looking for these fucking cams.
He's drowning.
He's drowning.
He's still behind the bush though. Drone's
Don't
coming from
peek.
breach.
Yeah, don't peek. Don't peek.
Good that they're just
Alright,
going
he
back
has-
in
he
the
has
site,
belly once,
retreating to
he's
site.
moving
That's the best thing you can do.
Go into the
Go to
breach
breach,
door.
go to breach.
Breach door. I think he just went in.
And now, if we had information on site,
Can't plant.
He's somewhere over there. No, I have no visual on.
Don't peek, please.
also they open
Chill
that
out,
up.
chill out, Blue. Chill.
Yeah.
90.
And he doesn't have any impacts. I have no idea if he has his impacts, but if he doesn't have any impacts, then you guys need to practice doing this. No excuse. Practice impact
Down to
tricking.
15 seconds.
Close inside.
Conference.
Planting.
Planting.
10 seconds left.
Oh, you.
I'm so done.
Oh.
Oh
my
my god.
I am so sorry. Dude, I can't use the UMP anymore. I am so bad at it. I fucking killed you and traded with him. Oh my lord. I'm so sorry.
How
That's
did he
actually
kill
really
you,
funny.
though? Like,
Yeah,
he wasn't
that was-
even
He wasn't looking
you.
at me, but
I think he flicks really hard.
I guess he flicked really hard on my head. That was insane. Okay, downstairs. Wait, no, we're attacking. This should be easy. Easy win. Easy fucking win.
The only thing I would have said about that and how he peaked it was probably should have waited a little longer if they knew he was planting. Wait just a little bit longer. Like, I know everything is how it is, but if you give them the chance to possibly stick it, then they may think, if I land this, then I get the advantage, you know, like I can actually do this. And Kaid could have just broken open the wall. If we go back here. Oh, I hope I don't lose my voice tonight.
No, I have no.
90.
Down to 15 seconds.
Close inside.
Conference.
Planting.
Planting.
Like, he knew that he was planting there. He heard it. What he should have done is just blown this open. Like, he has the TCSG. Like, make sure people know what what weapons they have. Like, blow this open. Use the destruction to your advantage. Like, blowing this open scares the living shit out of him because the site is now being reworked against him even harder than what it was before. And he's in the middle here and he's got no cover. So if you blow this open, you can very easily give yourself the chance to do it. And he lined up with your own teammates, but that was kind of a oopsie doopsie, not really a misplay.
Oh, you.
I'm so done.
Oh.
Oh my lord. I'm so sorry.
That was
And go back.
How did he
here.
kill you though? Like,
Yeah,
he wasn't
that was-
even
He wasn't looking
you.
at me, but
I think he flicks really hard.
Yeah,
I
he
guess he
definitely
really
flicked
hard on my
really
head.
damn
That was
hard.
insane. Okay, downstairs. Wait, no, we're attacking. This should be easy. Easy win. Easy fucking win.
And I would almost argue
Hilarious.
that your own Mira ban fucked you over because it seems like you don't know how to hold downstairs without Mira. Like, you guys are struggling downstairs to hold Mira, which is why you went upstairs for your first one. You should still go downstairs. Like, that should still be a strong site for you guys to hold, but it just isn't. And it kind of sucks. Ooh, excuse me.
Oh, this is upstairs.
And
for
they're
sure.
probably going to go upstairs. Good idea on the Twitch to switch over.
I mean, they
Or the
won
Maverick to
upstairs.
switch to the
Makes
Twitch.
sense why they're going upstairs. Okay. We need to rethink this because we haven't won upstairs.
Yeah, you guys did.
If we can
No,
get
we
somebody flanking late game,
We won the first 2 times, or the first time they went upstairs.
we
beat
won,
them.
but then they won
Decisively.
the other ones.
Use
Anyway,
your drone to
we
locate
need
a bomb.
to have somebody flank like late game from lobby because we're all pushing from the same.
I don't know who that is, but I love it. I love it. Late game flank, especially this late in the actual game, actually works out. But you should differentiate who's going to do it. It's going to be the Twitch. Is it going to be the Sophia? Is it going to be the Jackal? Who is it going to be? And how are they going to do it? More importantly, like, are you just going to have 5 people sitting all over here, and all of a sudden one's just going to drop the railing, go down, and go flank main lobby? That doesn't really work. This is the point where you should probably spawn over in jewelry front, because then you can actually get the outside camera here. You can shoot this camera here, and you can get main lobby camera without leaving spawn. Well, you have to leave spawn to actually get the main lobby cam in this cam, but you're pretty damn safe to get these cameras, and you get them from outside. So those cameras are done and got. You don't have to worry about garage cam because you don't have to go there. And then all of a sudden you can have someone drop and go through main lobby and go up there. Then you can do that. That basically enables that strat to work. But you have to be sure that everyone's on site. You have to make sure that there's no more roamers, because if someone's just blindly running around, how good is that to your team?
I'm like 2 angles and it's
We
not
have a
doing
Valkyrie.
anything.
But they are recognizing, your team is recognizing, hey, we can't push from one side of the map and do this one push every time.
The entirety
No,
of
they're not. They're
downstairs.
upstairs.
I said I'm droning. I got my drone in lobby.
Okay, yeah, I'm just saying. Kind of caught me off guard.
10 seconds.
Valkyrie's downstairs putting a camera in lobby.
5 seconds
No,
before
I think she's
insertion.
gonna throw a camera.
So now we know there's a cam in lobby.
In the castle. Castle's now.
Proceed to
She
bomb
missed it. She
location
missed it.
and
She
defuse
missed the cam. Valkyrie's still in lobby right now. She's trying to fix the cam. Valkyrie's still lobby. I don't have a drone.
To be fair, the only time they brought the castle, we actually beat them. So let's.
Square's good.
We should
One's
be-
in facade. One's in facade. Ping it. Yeah, that's
No impact trick is made, so they're not trying that.
They did that same thing.
I have noticed this. This is like the 10th or 15th time, I swear, that I've noticed this. But work on your animation cancels. You constantly have like -3 bullets, or you'll just have half your ammo because you just cancel the reload too soon. Like, that's something that just comes with experience. I don't know how I can say or how I can give you advice to do something like that, but just work on that, please. Like, it's nothing huge. It's
I think
just
last time, but
There's
they.
no
I can-
mutes or anything. You can literally.
I
just,
see
like,
that every single time,
could
and now we
just
have
honestly-
3 people droning.
I wanted to make sure that they're
In the hallway
down.
cast.
Castle's in 90.
And now we have 3 people watching the same angle.
I'm gonna rush for it, okay? Okay.
Is that going to be a refrag?
3-3.
Got him.
There we
got
go.
him.
And you're getting
Speaking
spotted.
of enemy, he went back to the
Where was the Velcam last time you were in here?
He's running back, defending. He's by back.
Dude, this is where that IQ comes in handy. If instead of a Twitch you had an IQ, well, not only could she get this camera, but she could enable that late game flank over to main lobby. Because then you don't have to worry about a Velcam.
Let me drone.
Yeah, he's in stock.
Jaeger's in stock. Jaeger's in stock. Jaeger's in stock.
The diffuser
There's a
is
cam
no
out here
longer in your possession.
Jaeger's dead. Got him.
What stock? Valkyrie's in stock. Valkyrie's in stock.
Yeah. Okay, this cam is.
That's
Hold on,
when
I'm
you
going
need
around
the
flank. I
IQ.
can't do this.
Seems like it's over at the far, like the plants that you were looking at. Looks like it was right where that is.
There's one
And
right.
laser
Oh,
sight?
God damn it.
One friendly operator remaining.
That was bad timing.
She wide swung the fuck out of me. Yeah, I don't know where that cam was.
Yeah, the
at
cam was
all.
A's. I
We
couldn't do
definitely
anything.
needed it.
I can't aim.
God.
I did not mean to vault. I am gonna kill myself. Alright. Defense.
You got it. It's downstairs.
Go downstairs. Okay. I don't know why I vaulted.
Alright, I'm gonna play Maestro down here this time.
That's all good. Can we? Yeah, let's turtle. Let's turtle hard.
Also, someone please replace the batteries in your smoke detector.
I have a feeling.
I
just
think we should have one, but
Jaeger, do you want a Jaeger holding? I don't want that.
six pick. No. Pick castle. 6 pick. That to Kaid.
Okay.
Make it look like we're going tellers.
Alright. So
He's a smart man. But you guys never used a castle for tellers. You'd be thinking, making them think that you're going upstairs, is what you're making them think right now. Remember, it's not a huge thing because you're still like trying to play them into, like, you're still tricking them into thinking that you're going somewhere that you're not. But you should still be prepared for that. Also, I should point out, you have 3 C4s. Well, actually, let's see what he 6 picks to. 3 C4s
Yeah,
slash
can
plant
you,
denial, and
play
a
inside
plant
server?
denial
This time we need a
gadget.
hatch
Yep.
reinforced in the server. Just keep your ADSs with you. You need 2 over there,
Yeah.
and then put 1 on the.
Alright, so we have Kaid, but I'm guessing he doesn't have the C4 when he should. So you only have 2 operators that can really stop the plant. He can. No, 1 denying the plant and 1 stopping it. 2 stopping it right here. 1 flat out like killing them, and 1 just damaging them until they don't do anything. But it can easily be shot out depending on where he puts it.
The red wall.
And if there's a Thatcher, then he's even
So
doubly
Jaeger, you
screwed.
get your own hatch. Vigil, get a hatch. I guess I can go get a hatch.
I mean,
See,
yeah,
now
see why.
this is the problem though that I'm going to say is kind of big. Is now you're trying to allocate who's getting hatches now. It's 7-7. Who's getting hatches, guys? You should already have this figured out. He's like, I'll get a hatch. Vigil, you get your own hatch. And he said someone else get their hatch. But it's just like, okay, but why? There should just be already this person's getting these hatches, this person's getting these hatches, this person's getting these
I'll get the
hatches.
site.
Just,
Actually.
just reinforce everything on site. I've got all.
Or you can pull a me, and I can tell my teammates, hey, go and get hatches. 2 people now, go. And then I wait to see who goes on site, goes off site or not. If only 1 person listened, then I go and get hatches. If no one listened, then I yell at them again. Or if 3 people listen, I say, hey, okay, too many. 1 person come back. That's basically how we do it. But it's mainly ranked that we play in. We're not playing in scrims where it's really competitive. Kill that drone.
Just chem blue.
No. Kill that drone. You can reinforce this and get back by even if you do it, like you can go down there, destroy that drone, get back up here, reinforce this, and get back to site. Before they get there, you need to get that
Found a
drone.
bomb.
It looks like Smoke got it for you, which is good. You
They
need
keep
to
coming
keep
through
it.
garage, right?
Yeah,
No, only
it
one
looks like
time.
you didn't verify it. Like, see, if we counted drones.
5 seconds.
Only once.
Only once.
Okay.
So then I assume you're holding in here then.
Ready to launch blast.
Considering I was just getting scanned, I think they're gonna come through garage again. Just someone else.
I don't know what the enemy team is doing with scanning all the time. They really like to do that.
Yeah, they got the cam. They got the cam.
They're joining.
That's shotgun. That's garage.
They got the cam. They're gonna push you.
Okay, I'm playing over here for
Was?
reasons.
Okay.
Yeah, go
You
down.
can come back then. Or you want to stay?
I can stay here.
Okay.
Okay. You're playing like a ranked player right now. You're not using your utility. If you die here, your 2 ADSs are worthless. You still have a barbed wire in your pocket and 1 reinforcement, which I don't know if the reinforcement was needed or not. You did reinforce the hatch to protect yourself, but you could have put the barbed wire near blue so that you know if they're on blue stairs or not. And that they're pushing you, or you could have put it in dirt tunnel so that they have to push through the barbed wire to kill you. But you peeking like this, you're playing ranked right now. You're not playing a scrim, is what I see. You are peeking randomly for no good reason, and if you die, you waste your team's utility. Let's see what happens.
Got backside.
Droning me hard.
Main stairs, help! Main stairs.
I don't know who that was.
Ash.
She's dead.
He's dead. Yep, you were right about the rush.
Sorry, Cass, on my back. Can you watch
In
lobby?
lobby, going outside to garage, it's Thatcher.
Good job that you killed the person. Keeping in mind also, good players won't hold a default angle like that, where you can just pre-fire them all day. They'll hold a different angle, wait for you to peek, like what you're doing, and then just kill you. Since you're, like, me, as a good player, I'm going to notice that you're just constantly peeking from this side to this side over and over again. So if I hold, because say dirt goes like, this is dirt door right here. Dirt goes like this, where it snakes around, you know? And you killed the guy that was looking this way. You know what I would do? I would sit there and hold over on this side right here and just wait for you to peek the server racks. You would be aiming right here, trying to kill me here, But now all of a sudden I'm over to the side. So you have to now flick to kill me. I have the advantage. I don't have to move my reticle, and you do. So think about that when you're doing plays like this. This is a borderline brain dead play that you're doing.
I can watch your cam. He went from main lobby
That's a
to
good way
garage.
to
He's
hold
on
the angle,
garage
but
right
you're still
now.
close to
You got
cover.
him.
One
You're
on
God.
4 remaining.
He's dead. He's dead. Last one, I have no idea.
At this point, you should just go back into sight and wait. Turtle. You should not
No
be.
idea.
That's the top
close.
blue.
Yeah.
It's like huge.
Oh my gosh. I'm a wizard.
She's
Stop.
gonna push
Go
top
back to
blue.
site. Go back to site. Just go back to site. No, please don't. Blue.
Yeah, whoever that is
Minute
yelling
30.
that,
They can obviously
they're
take it back.
smart.
Just stay on site. We win. I've got cans.
I don't mean to be rude, but are they like a really young guy or are they just a girl? I have no idea. I don't want to be mean, but I'm just curious at this point.
I want to troll so hard and shoot your little smoke canister.
It's IQ. She's on top main right now. She's just pre-firing. She just went to.
Good angle that the vigil was holding.
Elevator. She went
She's
past
going to
it.
lobby
She's
again.
lobby, yeah. She's going to the top main, top.
Like, you guys should have won against this so much quicker. They aren't shooting default cams. Like, this is basically a meme in the competitive environment. Like, you're so focused on what you're doing that you forget basic essentials like this. There is not a single goddamn ranked game that I play anymore where they don't shoot a default cam. Like, if they don't shoot a default cam, it's just like, okay, you guys are like thinking of way too many things at once here. And you aren't thinking of the basics, which can get you easily killed like
Top
this.
main. He's pushing
Yeah,
down
she's
main right now.
crosswalking down main. On like landing of main.
Yeah, see, that's the... He played that angle wrong. He was crouched on the wall instead of... Or prone on the wall
Can't win
instead
1
of
minute.
being
She's still
vertical or standing up.
Still there.
If he was standing up, she wouldn't have seen him at all, and he could have basically gotten that
No.
kill for
Still
free.
there, still
Or
there.
nearly free. At least whittle her health down.
Don't peek. Just don't peek. She has to rush. We have the pre-fire. Not pre-fire. Crossfire.
I have a cross angle, so if she pushes you.
She's dead. She's on the low end.
That's not a crossfire. You guys need to understand what a crossfire is. He's over in that direction, looking in this direction. Visual needs to be over at elevator, looking in this direction. That's a crossfire. You have the crossfire. If one person dies, the other person can immediately refrag off of it. You should not, like, this is not a crossfire by any means. It's a easy refrag, but it is not a crossfire. Learn to set up crossfires, and you can win games easily.
Close to you.
Especially against shield operators, like Blitz or Monty. Especially Monty. Because apparently you guys don't like playing against him since you have him
But we
banned.
kind of fucked ourselves a little bit.
So yeah. That's pretty much that. You guys are, overall as a team, not horrible. You need to work on things together, be more coordinated, and make sure everyone's on the same page, especially that this guy did really good as a fragger, and that's about that. He wasn't on the same page with your strats, which isn't a bad thing. Like, this is good practice. Like, this is what these games are for, is for practice. This was a very, from what it looked like, an average game for you guys. Like, everyone was on edge. Like, it was highs were high, lows were lows. Like, everyone was just like, if something bad happened, it's just like, why the were you doing that? And if something was good, just like, hey, good job. I fucking love you, you know? But you guys need to coordinate and be better about this. Like, if you have a bad round, you should be able to say, okay, this is what went wrong. We fix this, we win the round. Like, it should be simply that. There's a lot of rounds where you lost because of a lot of things that went wrong. Not because of one aspect, but because of many aspects. And you need to figure that out, and you need to fix that. Attack wasn't horrible, just way too one-dimensional. You guys need to learn how to attack differently. Dagan, I think is who it was. They said that, hey, maybe someone should go in flank lobby, like late round, if we still have the resources for it. So that was smart. They're trying to figure out a way to do something that isn't one-dimensional. On defense, though, you guys just need to be more coordinated. You need to figure out who's getting what hatches and how they're setting up, what they're setting up, and everything. You guys only had that last round, and see how easy that was for the last round. Like, that was easy money. Like, imagine if you had done that the first, or not the first round. Well, especially the first round, because the first round you guys almost got fucked over. Keeping that in mind, you guys almost lost that first round very, very quickly. That was by no means a, quote, amazing and great round and great flank. That was a misplay on the enemy team and a lot of misplays on your team. It was just one team made less mistakes than the other team. That's simply what it was. But yeah, keeping up with all that and doing all this stuff should help you guys out a lot. But I actually really enjoyed doing this, so let me know how I did, because this is the first scrim that I've ever actually recorded doing or done a VOD for.